Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another to Monday night live from Studio B. So here comes Mr. Hodges.
Yeah, I had to go get the link this morning in order to come in. So,
How you doing?
oh, we're doing it. Yeah, I had to go get the link from this morning to come in because you got nothing posted yet. So,
Okay, well, I got it up now because I just came back from doing a ship.
oh, cool.
Yep.
Yeah, I just got finished up. I just got to feed the kids now. Yo, shit's gonna hit the fan in the morning, Paul.
Oh yeah, what's going on?
Well, this morning I had a problem with the light. One of my overhead lights.
Yeah.
I quit working on my second last stop. I went to my last stop and it started working again. So I said to him, I called the boss and I said, look, got a problem with the light here. Now it's working right now. He said, oh, we're crazy busy here. He said, if it's working, we'll just leave it and we'll try and get to it. Okay. So went out this afternoon, working fine. My last two stops is not working again. Now it won't even come on.
Really?
So I said to me, well, he said, we'll have to find you a new bus and another bus to drive tomorrow. I said, what? For a light? It's just a little dinky little fucking bulb, this big bulb, about the size of my little baby finger.
Huh?
They want to give me put me in another bus tomorrow for a little light. Anytime when I worked for Batters, I had a light out. Oh, just pull around and back up to the shop doors. I'll get somebody to come out and fix it for you. Here, this new company. Oh no, we got to give you another bus. Shit's gonna hit the fan. I might quit tomorrow. Let's see. Yeah.
Well, I can understand the frustration. The frustration for you has been building for quite some time. And this incident is just going to bring it to a head.
And that's the thing about, like, what, you got nobody at night or even that, like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, like you got nobody can take change a light bulb, take 5 minutes. But there's so Mickey Mouse down there, this company's not funny. You just see, there was 4 drivers I know of this morning, Paul. They went to go get their bus, and the buses weren't there. Oh, we'll have to put you in this bus, we'll put you in that bus, put you over in this one. And then going to put you into a bus you're not familiar with, that's got all those alarms and looking iPad things, and oh, geez. I just had enough.
Yeah, I can understand that. You don't need the grief for the aggravation.
Oh,
So how's everybody doing? Hey, Mark White, Ed Hessick. How's everybody doing? Northside, Dominic.
Isn't Paul supposed to be there?
Yeah,
Hey, Paul.
he's very
Yeah.
good.
Hey,
Yeah.
I went to the grocery store, picked up two tomatoes right there. That's one of them. You know how much I paid for 2 tomatoes?
$12.
Well, I know, but it was $4 and like 30 cents. Like $2 for a stinking tomato.
Well, you know what? Over here, a dozen eggs are going for $12 or $14 a dozen.
Oh, they're just
They
stupid.
used to be, they used to be a buck something a dozen.
Oh, it's just, oh.
Yeah. Go out there and watch TV.
Oh, Pepsi.
Yes. No, I'm good. Thank you. So Dominic, how's things going with you and Mark? Everything good, I hope, and Edward? We finally got a little bit of sunshine this afternoon, which was nice. But I don't think the rest of the week is going to be that way. I could be wrong.
But hungry or something tonight? What?
What's-
When you, oh,
What's that?
he's hungry.
Oh,
Gracie barking so much, she's hungry. So who we got all in here? We got Dominic, Mark White, Edward. All right.
yep.
Well, I think a dozen eggs here around $4 now here, but dollar for 6 tomatoes. But $4.37 or something for 2 tomatoes. Oh God, I'm gonna have to start having a garden here or something.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. But you know, it's supply and demand, I guess.
Wow.
But I personally think that the retailers are pumping up the price, and you know what they're saying is, well, it's because it costs more. Everything costs more. It costs more.
Well, they got chicken in Toronto, $37 a kilogram. A kilogram, like 2.2 pounds, $37. Holy man.
Guys
Hey,
bought by
there
the
he is.
kilogram? The hell?
Yeah, $37 a kilogram. It's 2.2 pounds.
Okay, I was gonna say we buy by the pound here.
Yeah.
What's up, everybody?
Mark said, oh, that was more rain. And Easy Drone Dude. Hey, Dave, how's it going?
Oh, speaking of eggs, Mark, they have gone way the hell up. What was it yesterday? Sarah went to go get one of those. We used to buy those big boxes with 60. It was like what, 3.5 dozen or 4.5 dozen? Had
Yep, yep.
60 eggs in it.
Yeah.
And it's like almost $25 now. It used to be like 12 or 15.
Yeah.
Almost double the price now.
Yeah, it's
A bag of milk here was $6, and what else? Oh, a loaf of bread was $4.29. Holy Jesus!
You should grow them inside, Mark, if you got the room.
Yeah,
A lot of people grow tomatoes inside. Remember when those one things became real popular? You'd hang the tomato plants in your house upside down.
oh yeah.
A lot of people used to do those too.
Now what you do is grow a pot and then sell it and then buy your vegetables. Yeah.
Right? That'll make you some money. Well, I know a lot of people that grow, like my mom used to do that. She had a couple tomato plants.
Yeah.
And then she had, like a bunch of different herbs and stuff, and they were all grown inside. She had like a little area in the kitchen area that had them. Yep, that's true, Mark. Over there watching Laura and David go at it on Euro trucks. That was pretty funny. Laura's chasing them down, running them off the road. Where'd Paul go?
Oh, I don't know. He was there. I know Dallas is there someplace, but he just got back from flying a ship, so he won't be out. So Sarah says $8 for 12 eggs. Wow.
Yeah, it's freaking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Can't even have chickens where we live at anyway. Not allowed in the city limits.
Yeah. Oh, that should turn that on. Oh, good. Oh no, okay. I'll turn the light on. Give it a little. Maybe it's a little bit of light. Not too bright. Yeah, I'd better.
Oh, my little squirrely buddies were knocking on the glass.
Mm.
I'm talking to them over here.
Oh, you know, I was telling Laura that and David earlier. I went to the store to buy sunflower seeds this morning. Bought a big bag that were supposed to be ranch flavored and they were just salted. I was so disappointed after I opened them up, started eating. I actually don't mind liquid egg. It's
Yeah.
a lot less hassle when you're cooking a big meal.
How'd you like to
Just
be in this
dump it.
car, guys? Look at that car. The
Yeah.
bumper up behind the back seat. Holy jeepers.
Hopefully nobody was in the back seat because you might be able to survive that if you were in the front, but
I said, what? Three went to hospital, 7 vehicles involved, but one was a school bus. But it happened all around the school bus. But there was no kids on the bus at the time. You know, who's the bus company? Something Switzer or something. But that's in Toronto, eh? But like, holy crap, man! It's just, oh, look at this, caught the back corner of the bus. When one was sitting in the passenger side. Wow. Anyway.
that's why I don't like those tiny cars like that, man, because there's nothing to smush.
Yeah.
At least with the bigger cars, you got a little bit of leeway if you get hit by something like that.
Yeah.
Freaking smart car would scare the hell out of me to drive.
Mm. Then
Oh,
you
hey, Derek.
like COVID kicking his butt right now. Huh. Then yeah, that's what happens when you get old. You fall apart.
I used to get earaches real bad when I was little, man. Oh, that's horrible. I hated those. Or when you get that swimmer's ear from being in the
Yeah.
swimming in a pool and it would get in your ear and you didn't know it was in there.
Mm.
Wayne said that was in Oakville, Paul. I drove by it.
Yeah. That was Oakville. Oh, so Wayne seen it.
Hold on, one of the guys on our kids broken and killed her. Of course they videoed it. Bunch of morons. Well, people videotape themselves doing illegal stuff. And they wonder why they got caught.
No brain, no pain.
What? Hold on, I gotta look that up.
Here you go, guys. The redneck power window on your vehicle. Huh? Anybody like that, redneck?
Well, yeah, I've actually seen somebody do that before.
Kind of cute.
Yeah, Paul, I changed my settings on my drone when I flew this ship
Yeah.
and it's all screwed up.
Yeah, I screwed mine all up too. So, but it was too cold to go sit there for an hour and trying to keep trying it, right?
Yep.
Well, I guess Gracie wants back in again. That's stuff. I want in, Bark.
Oh, is it?
Yep. At least you don't bark, 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 bark. It's just one bark.
It's kind of like a hey, hey. I get it.
That's one way to get frying pan clean. I just cooked some bacon. Still got the grease in there, right? So they're dogs. They'll keep their skin moist.
Oh, wow. So it's called a. All right, stop scrolling.
All right. Hello. What's that?
So it's called a Trident safety cell.
This week when I get my check on Friday, I gotta pay my car insurance and I gotta pay my phone. I've got to get parts for the car so that way I can get this car fixed. So Kevin can get a job. Are you good this week? If I'm only able to give you a couple hundred
Yeah, yeah.
to get the parts so that way I can get this car fixed so that way he's able to go.
Yeah, do what you do what you got to do. Yeah.
All right, sweet. Thank you, Paul, because I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna get the car fixed. Hey,
What's up, Wayne B?
No, Mark said some guy got charged over in Europe there for flying drone at a festival.
And where was that at? Here in the US?
No, over in England.
Yeah,
that's
yeah, you got in a lot of trouble. We were just talking about that on Geeks Fauna's like group chat. It's cool.
Screw
Dumb
drones.
move. Dumb move.
Mm.
I imagine Dominic will be in a moment because, well, he was over there with Sean at Geeks Fauna, so I imagine he'll be in a second.
I thought Geeks Vinyl was on earlier today.
No, this was a members chat thing.
Oh, okay.
Members chat.
Yeah, members chat. It's fun.
You pay him money to talk to him.
Now you were quick, Chuck.
I see.
You know,
How did you?
don't
how did
pay no
you
mind to
swap
Justin, he's just
streams
saying-
quicker than I did.
I better be damn interesting if somebody's gonna pay to talk to me.
It was fun. I thought it was fun. I tried shorts today.
Oh, great.
Oh, did you?
Dan, I'm not sure. We'll see how it goes.
You gotta consider, like, dude, the other day I put 6 out. And within, what was it, about 30, 40 minutes, I got 6,000 views and I got, 9 subscribers.
Well, you're doing better than me.
You
By
gotta
about-
do at least 3 or 4 every day for
Yeah.
about a week, and then they'll start catching on, dude. I'm telling you.
Wow.
Yeah.
You'll start getting, all of a sudden, 2 or 3 of them will get 2, 3,000 views real quick.
That's so funny because like
And
this is
trust
exactly
me,
the polar opposite of I can't get people to watch my long form stuff. I can't be bothered to do the short form stuff.
but trust me,
Yeah.
you will have one
You
catch
just
on
cut up
for every
little bits
batch.
of what you've got.
Because
Well,
I'll
I
put-
did. I did. I took one of my long projects and just took a section out that made sense as like a short, like less than a minute short, and just cropped it down, framed it all up so it worked as like 9:16, and it worked and it looked good. So I'd have to do like a bunch of those. And then I can take people over to the channel because, well, it's all shit that's on long form on the channel. Maybe that is the
But-
way to do it.
But I'm telling you, if you put about 3 or 4 out every day for about a week, you'll all of a sudden, 1 or 2 of each of those batches, all of a sudden will just take off. And you might have one that will get tons of views. I mean, I had some that got like 14, 18,000 views on my old channel.
Yeah.
So, I mean, don't get discouraged just because you put out one batch and none of them caught on.
Just
'Cause-
one. Just one. Not even a batch.
Like I said, and then different times a day, try different times a day. I noticed that when I put them out in the morning time, like the ones I did the other day, I put out around 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. Because you gotta
Yeah.
remember too, the people that are watching the shorts, they tend to watch it at certain times of the day, so early in the morning and in the evening time. So just like I said, try different times a day. But I'm telling you, if you put out 12 in the next 3 days, one of them will take off at least, if not 2 or 3. That's how bad YouTube's pushing them.
Oh, I saw that because I put the same video on TikTok that I put on YouTube Shorts, and the TikTok video literally had no motion at all, and the one on YouTube actually was kind of like, wow, it's moving pretty good. But I mean, I'm thinking pretty good compared to a long form video, so really didn't do anything. It was like, because shorts should.
And
really-
like Mark said, the bear eating the fish, do the 15-second clips. Just pick 15 seconds of really good, like of you walking up to a bear or something that you can squeeze into 15 seconds. And just do 2 or 3 a day and try different times of the day. But put them in batches though. At least do 2 or 3
batches.
together at one time. Because doing shorts is easy, bro. You can get 15, 20 shorts together to get ready to upload pretty quickly. I mean, you're literally just cutting out a 15-second video.
Pretty much, yeah. This was like 40. This was 40 seconds. Just because it felt right, but
Yeah, they'll catch on though. Everybody has had success with shorts. So. Not necessarily getting subs from them, because on my old channel, I did get some subs from them. I mean, but they are getting a shit ton of views from them, that's for sure.
well, if I can get a shit ton of views and get some watch time that way, I mean, it's a long.
And you may
climb.
get subscribers, it just depends, like I said.
Yeah, well, I
But
don't
it
think
definitely
this-
pushes your video, it definitely pushes your channel a lot better.
so goes against what I feel is right for the channel, but whatever.
Sometimes it's nice to do things wrong.
Sometimes. Well, I do B-roll wrong. B-roll is supposed to be 50% speed. All your B-roll is supposed to be half speed, and I don't do that. That's breaking a cardinal rule of cinematography, and I don't care. But
Oh my
yeah.
God, JD.
What happened?
Always
He's
count on
talking to-
JD.
He's talking crap to me. He said Justin is already using or used to throwing his crappy shorts around his house. Came naturally to toss them on YouTube. Oh my.
I don't know
And
what
then
you
Dre's
do.
having a go.
I don't know what
Yeah.
you do, Justin, without JD, you know?
It's Wayne, JD, and Dre. They're all taking a shot at me in the chat there.
That's
all
just
ganging
not
up on me.
nice. Not nice.
What's up, Dominic?
Oh, not much. Just on for about half hour. And I've got a couple of things to do.
Well, we were over with Sean for a while, weren't we?
Yeah, we're showing for what, hour and 15, hour 20 minutes?
I'd say, yeah. Yeah.
Because it was 8 o'clock my time. It started 9 o'clock his time. So that would probably be what, 4 p.m. or so your time?
It was 4 o'clock to almost 5:30.
Yeah.
So here, I want to show Chuck this real quick. All right, so I started here the other day, right? Posting this one here.
Yeah. Why is it
Now,
all pixelated? It's all, oh, there it is. It fixed itself.
Yeah, it was
Okay, I
just-
can see it now.
okay, so
Taking time.
this one took off, this one took off, this one took off, this one kind of took off. But then you see these two didn't really do a whole lot.
Mm.
You see, and then same thing here, took off, kind of okay, but then this one, nothing.
But I'm watching the views actually change while you're showing them there. They're actually went from 700 like 800 views. The one is like 825. It's like clicking.
It might have, maybe it refreshed when I pulled it up. I don't know. I didn't even see
Yeah,
that.
something. Yeah,
But
it
like I
feels
said, some of
7.
them will take off and then some of them won't get shit for views. But you'll definitely get some to take off. I haven't seen one person that hasn't had some success with the shorts.
It's just not my thing. That's all. I'm not sure. Like,
But as far as pushing your channel, bro, that's the way to go right now.
yeah, it seems like it. Just so not my style.
Take advantage of it now because at some point, I really believe that YouTube's just gonna stop pushing the shorts. Once they get them to a certain level of they're comfortable with what's
Yeah,
being used.
I agree. That's what they did with the longs.
And then all the smaller channels that are getting good views right now, they're not gonna be getting pushed that hard at some point. So that's why I said take advantage of it now because you're gonna be kicking your ass in the ass later, talking about, oh, I should have done that.
There are a lot of
Yeah.
guys on YouTube saying the same thing as you. That this is the time to do it.
Right. It's like, you saying, oh, I was gonna invest in that stock. I should have done it and you didn't do it, right?
Mm.
Right,
No, don't be that person.
Yeah.
right, exactly.
What's up,
Exactly.
Steve? And Steve, both Steves.
Steve and Steve.
About to order a beanie. Designing a Covaxion beanie.
Get Morse mustard.
See if this works.
Steve Carpenter, I ain't seen him around in a minute. See him in the chat, but
Steve's out there at California time.
Yes, sir. Hey, Steve Carpenter, welcome.
Ooh, that's expensive.
so I've not done many, but the one I did when it was announced CGI were being classified as a military company got over 1,300 views.
Nice, Mark.
And then there's some like I thought would take off and I didn't get nothing on them. Like when I wrecked my Mini 2, I put that up twice as a short. And I
Trey-
couldn't get more than 20 views on it.
It's he trace a bear eating compared to Justin eating. Fair comparison.
Hey, who wrote that?
Trey.
Oh, Jesus.
Love it.
But yeah, I thought my Mini 2 crash would get some views, and I posted it twice just to try to push it, and then neither one of them ever got any views. Like Matt put up that stupid short of him that's going, I have an idea. Like he didn't even say anything.
I know. I just go.
4,000 views.
Yeah, fucking 4,000 views in like a week.
It's fun.
Sometimes you just put up stupid shit and people will watch it.
Crazy.
Just like take a 10-second video of you just panning across your desk or something, or looking at a freaking cup you got at the store or something stupid, and people will watch it.
Yep. You never know what's gonna hit.
It's a
Well,
lottery.
that-
I know Justin always encourages Laura to do all of her shorts
Mm.
because he's that kind of supportive guy, you know?
Look, as much as I give Laura crap about her shorts, she's really taking advantage of it, though.
Mm.
Yep.
That's why I said.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of those, but I get what she's doing.
A lot of people weren't a year and a half ago when I was pushing them and telling everybody to do them, and everybody was like, no, no. Now you see about 80% of the damn drone channels are doing them now.
Mm.
Like we discussed this a bunch of times on Jim's show about at least over a year ago. It was about a year and a half ago. We had multiple discussions about shorts. And it was more the older crowd in the drone community didn't want anything to do with them. They were like, nah, I'm good. I don't want to do those. And then when YouTube started pushing the hell out of them, everybody started doing them.
So I can fix this. Creating.
And to be honest, JD, I was one of the first people in the drone community to do shorts. Go back about a year and a half ago and watch some live streams. I was one of the very first people that was pushing them and doing them. And a lot of people thought I was stupid for doing it.
Gotta edit something. Quiet in here.
Mm-hmm.
As I remember
Here.
when they when they start doing shorts, Chuck, you had to used to put like hashtag shorts in
Oh,
the
yeah.
title or something for it to do it.
Yeah, you did.
Do me a
And I
favor,
still
will
do
you?
that out of habit. I've
Take
only
that
done a
broom
couple.
and
Yeah.
Sweep
Like
the peanuts off.
Now you've just got to
The one
convert it
broom
to
right over
shorts
there.
when you upload it.
Oh my God, Dre, Jesus. Don't sink to their level.
What'd he do? What'd he do? What'd he do?
Said I'm the masturbator or debater. One of the
Oh.
two.
Oh, goodness.
He's sinking to JD's level.
Yeah.
JD's just pulling everybody down in the trenches with him.
Yeah.
I remember when we got the shorts button on YouTube, when you got that upload button.
Mm.
You know, it took a whole nother month and a half after we got it before you guys got it in Australia.
Yeah.
I remember asking Matt. Matt was checking his phone every day for like a month, and then they finally got it about a month or so after we did.
Mm.
How do I edit this stuff? What did I, Jesus.
The one thing you'll find kind of a pain in the ass doing shorts, so Truck, is if you didn't, record in like portrait mode, it will like cut part of the video
Yeah,
because you were doing panorama mode, I guess, when you were filming.
Wait, what do you mean? Panorama versus portrait?
Because of the shorts are in portrait mode.
Well, I
You
do them in
upload shorts.
DaVinci. In
Oh,
DaVinci,
you switch it?
I change my timeline and then I have to take my everything I film is in widescreen, so I have to zoom them in, punch in, and
Right.
then crop it and frame it so everything works.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah,
it's a bit of a work. It's a bit of a chore because I want it to look good. So
right.
it's like that's not working. Speaking of not working. Crap.
Yeah, the app I use kind of fixes that, but it's still not the best.
I thought there was a way to edit stuff on Teespring or Spring. I can't do it. It's embarrassing.
mm,
Being rude. I should be. Okay, got rid of that. Do it again. Great.
Well, Paul, today I might have made a connection with a real estate photographer today.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Nice.
I had a talk with her. I said, so who's doing your, have you got somebody doing aerials for you? She said, yeah, I got one guy, but problem is, it takes 2 or 3 days to get the pictures from him. It's always on her jump drive and stuff. I said, well, can't you use WeTransfer? Got talking to her. But she said, the problem is I need a YouTube format to put on a channel. He can't do that and all that. I said, well, shit, that's easy. I said, I use DaVinci Resolve. You can download it on YouTube. You just put it on your channel, make it private, and just give you the link. It's not a big deal. Oh,
JD had a question. You
we
might
got to
be able
get
to answer,
together.
Chuck.
Here, so
What's
hopefully
that? Shame on me for not
I got
looking.
some more work, eh?
Okay, that sounds good.
Struggling.
I said, well, I said, because it's funny because I said to her the other day, or I was talking to her, I said, Friday, do you do work for Yvonne Steer? She goes, yeah. I said, did you do those ones up in Iona? She said, yeah, I did.
Oh,
I said,
Oh,
I
sorry,
did the
sorry.
aerials. But I said, the problem is, that, your pictures are fine, but, there's a dull, dreary pictures, all that stuff because of the sky. Because I come along and I change all the background, make it, put some blue sky in there and a few clouds and stuff. And I said, now you got 2 different style pictures and colors, right? So, yeah. So I think,
Yeah,
but apparently she does the photography for Joe Mavertech and Rosalind, which I do all the aerial photography for him. But she said the biggest problem with him is that he never gets them to me so I can post them. So she said, maybe you and me should get together here and you can send them to me and then we can get them up and get them done quicker. So we're going to get together and maybe come up with a plan.
Okay, sounds good.
I'm hoping to get more work out of it anyways. So
Yeah.
I said, to her, wow. I said, I just bought a brand new drone about 2 months ago. It was $5,600. She goes, oh my God. So I said, it's a good drone.
I'm putting Dallas to work.
yay.
Oh, what are you doing? Getting her to pick up all the shells or?
Now she's blowing the shells.
Oh,
Nice.
well, she knows how to use it.
Good to see.
Yeah, good for her.
Yeah.
That blower weighs almost as much as she does. But she likes to do that, so
Yeah.
let her go, right?
Yep.
What happened? Oh, it's so quiet in here.
I was reading this thing on the YouTube short.
Hey, Chuck, are you flying the Air 2S?
No, I don't have an Air 2S or an Air 2.
Well, I reset the settings. I got the original controller on it, the original smart controller, where the has the two together where you flip them either up or down or whatever.
Yeah.
And I reset some settings. And the settings have kind of screwed up. Today's the first day I flew it. Kind of screwed up everything. What I did is I picked a higher frame rate because I wanted to get rid of some choppiness when I'm flying around the back end. And for some reason, my camera will not zoom and will not zoom out. And it seems like it's going awful slow.
I wonder if there's some settings in Fly that you've kind of hampered up while you were messing around.
Yeah, it sounds to me like I
Because,
did that exactly because it just
Reset it again. Try resetting it again.
You should be someplace to set it to default in there.
default. Yeah, I would imagine there should be, but
Yeah, setting it to the default.
you guys gotta remember. You gotta remember
That's-
you're talking to me.
Yeah. What's it on? 2S?
On the and the Air 2S.
Yeah, okay, you have to find somebody with an Air 2S because I ain't got a clue.
But the shorts do count towards your watch time as a whole of your channel, but not towards the 4,000 hours to be monetized. But you still do get watch hours for those. They just don't count towards the 4,000 hours of watch time.
See how slow that's going? I'm doing probably 7 knots and it's doing 8 knots. I mean, it's nice and clear, but it's slower than hell.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not reading your guys' chat because none of you guys are saying anything valuable in the chat. So no, I don't read 'em. Okay?
Oh.
Once one of y'all say one smart thing in the chat, then I'll read it. There you go.
But
Y'all are just parroting everything everybody else is saying.
see,
Wow.
Paul, how slow it's going?
Yeah.
That's just on normal set, but what I thought was normal settings.
Have you put it in cine mode? Is that what you've done? Maybe?
I don't know. How do you know?
Well, Fly has 3 settings. You have cinematic and you have normal and you have sport. So you can
Well,
actually change your yaw
I got
rates.
the lever all the way over to sport mode.
Yeah,
and
but
it-
what are your settings in Fly? You have to go into the Fly app and check out your settings for the individual modes. You can
Either turn the speed down.
it's very cool in Fly that you can do that because like I set up all my, whether it's sport, normal and cine for me, I'll have a super slow yaw and I set up the gimbal pitch and smoothness to be like cinematic, even though
Well,
the drone can
if
move
I
like
get the controller over
fast
here,
in sport.
can we check
Sport
it without
levels.
turning the aircraft on, or do I have to turn the aircraft on?
It's got to be connected to the
I'm
aircraft.
thinking, yeah, you're gonna have to fire it up so you can mess with it.
Because I mean, look at how slow that's moving.
Well, it's not the worst thing in the world, Paul. It's kind of nice.
No, because I can speed it up in post, but
No, don't speed it up in post. I mean, it's more, I mean, buttery and smooth is nice.
Well, it's definitely buttery and smooth, but there's no way in hell it's moving at that speed on its own.
Hey, Paul, can
Yeah,
you hear me?
yep.
Your footage naturally will slow down with the higher frame rate.
Okay.
I didn't catch what you were saying. I thought you said the drone was actually flying slower or something. No, I caught what you said. Again, when you fly at a higher frame rate, the footage will come out looking slower.
Slower.
'Cause
Okay.
you said you flew at 60 this time instead of regular 30.
Oh, I
Yeah.
haven't picked Dre. I didn't pick up on him saying that.
Yeah, that's why I caught
Yeah,
it.
it's like he's like B-roll. He's filming it almost like it's
Right,
playing back
'cause
at 50%.
right, because like I said, I like shooting in 60 frames per second because it is nice and smooth footage and everything else, but it runs a little slower than 30 frames.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Okay. That
And
makes
just, and
sense.
just like if you went to 120, you would really see the slow motion at that point. So that's all it is. You go back to 30 frames per second, everything will be like it is.
Everything back to normal. Okay.
Right,
Hmm.
that's the difference.
Because I didn't know, I'd never changed it, but I was thinking that, every once in a while on my videos, when I go around the ship, I get this little choppy and then it stops.
Hmm.
And so I thought, well, hell, maybe if I
Right.
change the frame rate, it's going to be buttery smooth, which it is.
Yeah, yeah, and that's why I when people get on the shows and stuff, they talk about editing. I said, no matter if you shoot at 30, 60, I always render it when I'm done editing at 60 frames per second most of the time.
Okay.
So it will bump
Well,
up.
Dre, the question I have then is, okay, let's say I take that video that's as slow as it is, and I put it in my editing program,
Hmm.
and I speed it up. Just manually speed it up.
Okay,
Will it render then at a normal speed?
it'll render whatever speed you want. You render it at. It's like
Okay.
you pick like I say you can shoot 1080p footage, but you render it at high definition.
Okay.
4K. I should say 4K. You render it at 4K, and that's what I do when I put stuff on YouTube because I want YouTube to get as much information that I can feed it. So
Okay.
it'll look nice and crisp and everything. So I should say what I shoot at and when I render it is totally different a lot of times. A lot of times I'll shoot at even 30 or even 60, but I always make sure I render it at the end. When I'm done editing, I render it at 60 frames per second so it will look nice and smooth on YouTube and crisp.
Okay. All right, that sounds good.
Yeah.
I'll be right back, guys. I think she took off with my blower.
Somebody, make sure somebody take off with her and the blower.
She's blowing all the peanut shells over to the neighbor's house.
Nice.
She went around the corner and disappeared, and I don't see my blower, so what the hell. Be right back.
Crap, it's gonna take too long. Bummer.
So you got my message in yesterday's show, Chuck?
What's
You're on
that?
drone seekers.
Yeah, I saw your
Yeah,
message.
like I said, that first 30 seconds, 45 seconds of that Alaska trip, dude, that was a short right there.
Well, that was the whole Dre, that's the whole idea. The opening of the video is to hook them.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's what your shorts is try to hook them.
Right,
And you-
right.
you
I
can
get
write
it.
a little-
I get it.
You can write
Yep.
a little text message there that says, hey, Alaska
Yeah, I did.
trip for
I-
more, go to at, whatever. And stuff.
I did that with I took the money shot in the middle of the video with the bear fishing the salmon.
Yeah, well, I say next time you get that and you get a picture of Justin side by side, say, look,
Oh,
Cousins.
yeah.
All I'm saying is I was reading that article, not the chat, and I wasn't reading the chat. I actually was reading that same article before Mike posted it, and I was just reading off of what it said.
what are you
And
talking
everybody
about?
was like, "Oh, you haven't been reading the chat
What he's
because I
talking
wasn't
about
reading it."
anymore.
What are you talking about?
What you
What
talking about,
JD
Willis?
He said literally everything we were said the last 15 minutes had been
You
pertaining to this
last
conversation.
chapter. last chapter. It's,
What'd you talk about, Willis?
Really?
Oh man, my childhood's coming back.
Yeah. I'm gonna go, guys.
Getting tired.
Okay, Dominic,
Yeah,
yeah.
but-
He's got to get a
Okay,
couple
bye.
hours nap in so he can come on the next live stream in a couple
yeah,
hours.
yeah, definitely. Oh, good.
Yeah.
Something
Yeah.
better to do.
Yeah.
So, see you guys later.
See you, Dom. Take care, man.
Yeah,
Yep.
bye-bye.
I love Dominic. He's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I'll send it to you, Messenger, Laura. Hold on. Give me a second.
Well, you don't know, Laura? I thought you would have had that a long time ago.
Honestly, most people I have on Messenger, I don't have my email because we talk on Messenger.
Usually on your channel, yeah, on the about part, don't you put your email in there?
Oh, you know what? I don't know. And it's that dash at the end isn't part of it, Laura. I accidentally hit the key before I hit enter. I don't know. I don't know if I ever did or not. Let me check. It's a good question.
Back over here.
No, I did not. All right, hold on.
There, feed Justin, he's in a rage mode. Mode.
Refresh that. make
I
sure
forgot.
it's
I'm
on.
gonna have to go get groceries and stuff. Lori works till 7, but man, this, you know what? Why is it after work? Things go so fast.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, no kidding, eh? Crazy. Not a fan.
Ah, I went up another one. Sweet. Got 2 more today.
What's that?
Subs.
Nice.
I just want to pass Matt back up so I can throw it in his face.
I love it. Not one freaking view on TikTok. What'd you say?
So I just want to get past Matt again so I can throw it in his face.
Nice.
So I can just stop hearing about his big channel.
Yeah. Well, it'll come in time. Even the way I'm doing stuff, it'll work in time.
Well, you started posting to TikTok?
It didn't work. No, I don't care about TikTok. It's just I don't give a shit about TikTok. I figured I threw it up in 2 spots. I was curious, and I see how the YouTube one. YouTube's definitely pushing stuff. And then if I follow your lead, where you do it regularly, then there's more potential.
I,
there,
like I
but-
said, I would try in the morning and the evening and see. Cause I've noticed at different times, like when I posted a couple the other night, they didn't really take off, but then when I went back that next morning when I was still live streaming, I did it again while I was live streaming and we were actually watching it live go up. Me and Tim were.
Yeah.
And I've noticed in the morning times, they tend to do a lot better. At least for my stuff. I mean, it could be different because they may push yours into a different part of the algorithm, so.
That's hilarious. YouTube took all my views away from that short. You guys are awesome. Fuck YouTube. Pardon my French.
Yeah,
Really?
they do, Laura. That's one of the reasons I don't like TikTok.
No, YouTube took all my views away. I had like a whole pile of views and they took them all away.
What? What?
They're all gone.
The
I'm
fuck is that
done.
possible?
I don't know. It's not like I wasn't even clicking on it. I'm just watching it go. I hit refresh and then now all of a sudden it's like,
Yeah,
I'm
there's
done.
something going on there.
yeah, YouTube sucks. That's what's going on.
Yeah, oh yeah, they always talk.
See, TikTok allows a lot of bots on TikTok. and they don't
I'm not
really do
recruiting
anything
any-
about it.
I'm not recruiting bots or anything. I'm not.
No,
I'm
no, no,
not-
I'm talking about TikTok, not
I'm just
YouTube.
saying, I mean, why is YouTube coming after us for this stuff when like it was, I don't know.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you on that.
Give up. I'm done. So I'm done with shorts. I quit. I'm not doing shorts anymore. It's wasting my time. Not worth 4 seconds. of
Oh,
my
it
time.
took your views from your, I thought you were talking about your regular videos.
No, it didn't mess with that. It took all of a sudden it just went down to like it was, and it wasn't that many to begin with.
No,
Justin.
no,
I mean,
no,
you
no,
know,
hold on,
it's
hold on,
like-
hold on. I've had that happen before and then they show back up later. I think it's a glitch.
Maybe
I've had
work.
that.
Maybe they should work harder on like hacking at these guys that do like, you know, Telegram
Actu-
and stuff.
I had two different ones that were, one was at like 400 and something. And another one was at 800 and something, and I lost like 200 or 300 views. And then the next morning I woke up and they were back.
That's messed up.
I've had that happen twice to me.
Just-
Not on this channel, but that was on my old channel. I had that happen twice.
That's super annoying.
So just, I would just check it again tomorrow and see if it did anything.
Why I have 2 TikTok accounts? Because I screwed up, Laura. That's why.
A lot of people have multiple TikTok accounts.
didn't
'cause
mean
it's
to have
easy as
two.
hell to get
Something-
banned.
Something went wrong and I ended up with 2 of them. That's why.
I went live one time on TikTok and then I had somebody come in and ask me what my pronouns were and I told them to fuck off.
I'm not. I'll
And
have
like
to
5,
find.
like 2 minutes later, they banned me.
Yeah, Laura. I don't know. Let's see. I really don't care about TikTok, but that's the good news. I really don't care about it. So I'm so much better than TikTok. I don't need it. I just don't care.
I know, and they keep talking about they're gonna ban it. I don't know what the hell's going on with that.
They can
'Cause
go ahead and
honestly, if
ban it.
they-
I just don't care.
yeah. If they ban it here, you can guarantee that's gonna go right into the European countries as well. Same thing when they did Huawei, when they banned Huawei.
Yeah.
If the US bans a Chinese company, all the rest of the European countries end up following suit. Oh, I'm sure YouTube would love that. I bet they're freaking clamoring for that. They probably got all kinds of freaking people at the begging senators and shit to do that.
What's Mark talking about? Subscribers? He must be talking about subscribers.
Go up to, yeah, I've been bouncing back and forth too the last couple days, Mark. I was at like 123 and then went up to 124.
Yeah, that's typical though. That's another kind of game. The way the subscribers will go up and down, up and down, up and down.
Some people's channels are worse than others though. Like
You
I've
can't-
seen people lose like big chunks. And then all of a sudden they'll get half that chunk back. Like they'll lose like 50 or 60 at one time.
It's
And then
like
all of a sudden 20 or 30 will show back up.
I wonder if they're like testing to see if they are bots or something. But
Hmm.
YouTube's goal is to keep you beaten down as much as possible. I'm convinced of it. They get the advertising, whether you have subscribers and views or not. They get the advertising, so they don't
Oh,
really
for
care.
sure.
That way, the more they beat you down as a creator, the less they have to pay. It's like an insurance company. They want to take your money, but they don't want to give it back.
Yep.
And that's what's going on with YouTube. YouTube's goal is to keep you beaten down. Where's my got another?
Yeah, I see Art's live right now.
Whether you
I'm surprised. Yeah.
Art is?
Yep.
They don't
really care.
That way. What's he doing?
So
Why can't I hear myself somewhere else? Who's playing the YouTube audio?
I can hear it too.
Weird.
I don't hear it.
It's gotta be one of those two because me and you got headphones and Dre's muted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Can't get-
it must have happened when I came back in.
I think it did. Did you have to
Yeah,
sync
'cause
up?
It's
Yeah,
not
'cause
doing
if-
it now, right?
You don't get feedback if you're using headphones. I can actually play YouTube in my headphones while you guys are talking. You won't
Nice.
hear it.
Little Mama Laura, check why you got 2 TikTok accounts.
I didn't know I did. That's the thing.
One is his OnlyFans account.
Only fans. Okay, all right.
Is anybody actually posting anything to OnlyFans that isn't sexual though? Because it wasn't really originally designed for that. It was actually designed to be like YouTube. And then they
So-
kind of let it go kind of south and then they just ran with it.
How do I see if I have a second YouTube account? How's the other one come up? Because I see the one I
You would
have.
go up to your accounts on your home page and if hit switch account, if you have another account, it will show it.
Yeah, I don't know about it, Justin, because when I first heard about this OnlyFans account, that's all I ever heard it was for. Basically, a lot of these women were using to show off body parts these knuckleheads would pay to see.
Not me.
Well, I think it turns south
Oh,
really
Chuck must have found
fast.
his page. Is he in his tidy whities?
No, I'm
Did you-
trying to figure out how I ended up with a second.
Oh, you do have it. Okay.
I don't
Hey,
know why I have a
hey,
second
hey,
one. This
Chuck-
is totally,
Chuck, your secret's safe with us, buddy. We won't tell nobody.
yeah, whatever. So like, I just whatever. I mean, I'm trying to
I
figure out
mean, you
what the
can
hell I
keep
did
it
wrong.
as a test account though.
Yeah.
Some people use extra accounts for test accounts, different things.
How the hell did it go to this one? That's so
Take a
bizarre.
screenshot of both of them there, Chuck.
What?
Little Llama Lord said she sent you a screenshot of both your TikTok things or something.
I mean, that's the trick. I have like 40 of them.
That one with clothes and one without?
With and without. Okay.
Christ almighty, here we go.
Hey, Ron.
Oh,
Hey,
How's it going, Ron?
okay.
any cougars?
I found some old tracks, and I gave it up after about 4 hours. The snow was just too deep. And on top of that, I'm not sure, but I think I might have got a corneal abrasion. It's like my left eye.
Oh, shit.
Not good.
Oh,
I don't like looking at eye stuff that makes my eyes water.
sugar. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I don't even,
Yeah,
I don't even
see
like
it.
watching
I
people
see it.
put in contacts.
That from
I
a branch,
see it.
Ron, or?
Yeah.
You're gonna say it sounds like you got a branch in the face.
Yeah. That's what
Yeah.
I'm thinking. I said, you're gonna get those when he getting hit with a branch, or you were just too close on the recoil.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I
see,
got
look.
urgent
Look at that.
care in the morning.
Yeah, it looks like a scope right in the end of your eye.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
did the boyfriend at the restaurant finally confront you?
Yeah, he found it.
When you say you spent too much time chasing the cougar, I thought, well, which bar did you go?
Yeah.
Oh,
Now, Ron, do you normally wear eye protection, eyeglasses when you're in the field, or no?
No, if it's sunny, I don't have sunglasses on, but yeah.
Because I know some guys that are out there in the field all the time. They have sunglasses, then they've got them yellow glasses that enhance the
Oh, yeah.
light.
Shooting glasses.
It helps enhance the lighting. Yeah.
Yeah, basically they're polarized glasses
Yeah.
that cuts down the glare and stuff like that.
But it was fun. I had a good time.
Oh, good.
Go to urgent
Oh,
care
dear.
tomorrow and get an antibiotic in there.
Yeah.
Probably what I
Oh,
do tomorrow.
dude, just watching people put contacts in makes my eyes water.
Really?
That's one thing I don't like looking at is eye injuries. Oh,
Ugh.
Sarah does that with her contacts. I can't watch her do it. I don't like shit touching my eyeballs. Yeah,
Just
stop.
a minute,
Touching
Justin.
your
You just
eyeballs.
grew up one of that Easy Rider BB gun. You shot your eye out.
Ouch.
Now, I did the same thing a couple times that Ron did where I walked into a branch. I've done that before and that shit hurts.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've been whacked. I didn't get no eye issues, but I've been whacked in the face with a branch or some hump.
And I've gotten the corner of a car door before.
Yeah.
Talking about that
JD,
hurts.
JD says, Ron, get an eye patch out.
Yeah. He said, FFS, is that for fuck's sake?
Yeah.
Yes, that's what it is.
Yeah. And
no.
the herd's here tonight. Holy shit. 13.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
wow.
I guess
Yeah.
you know JD can get his law firm to represent you, Ron, against the tree.
Yeah.
Or the property owner.
Yeah.
Haven't
What's
Yeah.
what's the name of his law firm again?
JD Schwindel and Shyster.
Swindle and Shyster, yeah.
Now, I hit my eye on the corner of the car door about 2 years ago. Oh, man, my eye was so sore for like about a week and a half.
I was out, I just went out about 20 minutes ago and was playing with the Osmo Action 3.
Yeah, the one you just got?
Yeah, I optimized this time. Playing with the slow motion. And
I love doing slow motion videos.
yeah,
Fun for the whole family.
Oh, look at that. Eh?
Oh, that's cool.
yeah. Again, I'm just out there testing. It needs it needs ND filters big time.
Yeah.
And I'm out there in the worst part of the day with the, the bad lighting. Just filmed a couple little clips with it.
Looks like a zebra.
Yeah.
It's got good sound.
Yeah. Runs home.
There's the car. There's the car, Justin, the truck.
Yeah, no, that door looks undented.
Yeah.
I'm holding out for Ron's new truck. I
Yeah.
gave up on that one.
Yeah, this one's paid off. This little one on the right has
Yeah,
never come
the
up.
little one's going, hey, save some for me.
Well, he's never come up before. He's never gotten that close.
Oh,
Yeah. So,
Guys, I
anyhow.
gotta go.
Yeah, I gotta jump too.
okay,
That's the
Justin.
roll.
I scared everybody away.
And Chuck,
No, I gotta get some stuff situated and go pick Lori up from her prison. That is her office.
okay.
Groceries
Thanks
first,
for
Lori
coming in,
second.
Chuck.
Yeah, I'm sorry I haven't been all engaged. I've been pretty bad. I've been fighting with my computer the whole time. Now I have 2 TikTok accounts to sort out. This is
Yeah, there you go.
Only fans. Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, brother. It's a rough room.
Well, it opens up another area for you to work on.
I'm gonna have to go to the gym more if I'm gonna do an OnlyFans one.
Well, either that or you're going to have to talk awful sweet to Lori.
Yeah.
Well, I just pixelated her on the freaking bear video. That worked.
Mhm.
That's sort of, outside the lines there.
Well, you can just do raw nature clips in the OnlyFans ones. Catch
Yeah.
nature in their nature.
Nature, yeah. Well, she was one with nature, that's for sure.
Okay.
Well, there were no bathrooms, so
Oh, that's right. Yeah, she has stopped and pee.
yeah. It's
Oh, my wife be like, "Oh, you gonna turn this car around?"
Yeah.
That's when he started the second TikTok page.
And I
Yeah,
know my
no.
wife. She'd be like, "Oh, you will turn this car around." 'Cause
And
my wife said
she
she
don't
don't
care.
care
There was no-
squat anywhere.
Ron knows there was no car. It was a float plane, and it was gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was no turning anything around. We were in the middle of Katmai with no place to go except forward. We were going forward, or we weren't leaving.
Yeah.
And
That's why I know my wife be like, "You going hiking where? Let me know how it was, because I'll be right here."
that's
Yeah.
what I love about my wife. Lori's awesome. She's up for anything.
Yeah.
Is your wife
Well, there you go.
true California girl, Dre?
No, she's a Philly girl.
Huh? Really?
My wife is a Philly girl, and she's a city girl. She's like, "Hey, don't put me out in the boonies." And she got to have neighbors. Not that she needs to know them, but she needs neighbors. People
And
she
she's
can
gotta-
walk across the street next door.
She has to have a mall handy.
Was that?
A
Well,
mall handy.
A
no,
mall?
she's over that. She's over that
Oh.
stuff. But it's just growing up in those, in a neighborhood in a city, that's just part of
Everybody
her-
knows everybody, right?
Yeah, everybody knows everybody. That's kind of part of her lifestyle. For me, I could be, not too far in the boonies, but I can be a little bit out there. I don't need neighbors, and like I said, that's why we don't live in Orange and LA County, because I don't need to be in the city. I hate traffic.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. I don't need the combustion and the lights and sirens and all that kind of crap.
Now, Dre, does your wife work?
Yeah, she's a school teacher.
Oh, okay.
And she's a math teacher for a high school and junior high.
Well, hell, Dre, I've walked the streets of Philly 2,000 times. They pee anywhere.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. You
Yeah.
can smell it. You can smell it in every alley and corner, huh?
Uh-huh.
Every
Yeah,
every
especially down-
parking garage, freaking stairwell.
And
Yeah,
you know
gross.
what? The dogs are pissed off in Philadelphia because they get blamed for it. It's not
Yeah.
them.
Somebody else is
Yeah.
marking their territory.
Well, like I said, that's her childhood. So as an adult, I think the last time she was back there when her father passed. I guess it's been had to be at least over 10 years ago when her father passed. No, her older brother passed. That was about 5 years ago. And she had to admit it's not what it used to be, And every
It's
time she
not.
talks to some family back there, they just tell her, don't even come to visit. It's just everything's gotten completely out of control. All the street violence and
Oh, God, it's
the
terrible.
old neighborhoods are not even worth trying to go visit. So, it's just totally different.
So she grew up there, Dre?
Yeah, she grew up there. I mean, she was born there, and they left there when she was about to go into junior high school age, right around 7th, 8th grade. So, like I said, that's her childhood.
Yeah.
They came out here to California. The parents split up, and her and a couple of her sisters came out here to California at the time, back in 1977, 78 time frame.
Wow. Yeah, it's changed a lot now.
Yeah. I took her down there when I was stationed up in New Hampshire, in Portsmouth. I drove her down there for Mother's Day back in 85, 86, 86. I drove her down, and then she's been back there twice for funerals and stuff. So
Yeah, I'm going back to Pennsylvania first weekend in February. I'm not sure I want to go back into Philly or not.
yeah,
I'll be up in Harrisburg, state capital, but
yeah, her big thing is just she remembers, being in elementary school, going to all the historical sites, and the museums and all that kind of stuff that you do as a kid. And that's what's always, stuck in her head is why she would like to go back and, do the sightseeing stuff.
yeah.
I could care less.
There's still some neat parts of Philly. I mean, you go into the Northeast is not bad. South Philly,
Mhm,
going into Center City. Center City is really cool.
mhm.
It's busy and crazy, but you can get up around, like Billy Penn and the Liberty Bell and
Right.
um
Yeah, I'm sure all the historical, locations are still, I said they're still there. And like I say, it's what you got to go through to get to them. And then you got to say, okay, where do I want to stay at while I'm out there?
Right.
You talking about you got to fight the traffic to get into the city and get out of the city.
yeah, oh God. Yeah, the traffic is terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually worse on the outskirts because people try to get it. People can't afford to live in Philly, but they live out where I was, out in
Mhm.
Chester, Berks County, and out where Tim Jackson used to be. And yeah, Tim Jackson was only like half an hour from me.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
amazing. Now he's over in Australia. I'm
Hey,
chasing after
TJ.
some girl.
TJ.
Yeah.
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 What amazing, what amazing.
I could even go where you're at for me if it didn't snow. Or I take it only snow for about a month or two. I ain't gonna say I'm just against snow 100%, but I just don't want to have 4 to 6 months of it.
Well, we don't. I'll be honest with you, Dre. This year was a little abnormal.
Mhm.
I can remember, several winters. There's just a couple winters ago. We had a total of like 8 inches of snow all year.
Yeah.
We had a couple cold spells, but a lot of days in the 40s and 50s, 60s. I remember
I can live with
came
that.
from Pennsylvania to visit, and hell, I dropped them off Valentine's Day. I dropped them off at the airport. It was 63 degrees.
Yeah.
So
So I can go with that. Like I remember when I was stationed up in Portland, Oregon area. I like the winters there. You're lucky if you get snow before Thanksgiving, because it usually hits around December and it's gone before Valentine's Day. So,
I can remember deer.
that was a nice area. I mean, Portland, Oregon gave you all the advantages of a big city, as far as art, culture, all that kind of stuff. But it's not a big city, and
Yeah.
so you got a little bit of both sides of things. And I actually lived across the river, the Columbia, over in Vancouver, Washington.
Mm-hmm.
I come across the was it 505 or whatever it is, the 505 freeway, and I used to have an office in Mall 205 when it was still available.
Yeah, I did the a couple years ago. We did that motorcycle trip out to the Columbia River Gorge and
Mm-hmm.
all up and down the coast. We went up to Olympic National Park and
Okay.
beautiful, beautiful. That's the place you gotta go, Chuck, with Lori. That Olympic National Park.
Yeah.
Is Chuck still there?
Yeah, he's focused on something. He's trying to get rid of that extra account before Lori gets home.
Oh. Yeah, Chuck, we're laughing on your account.
Yeah,
I was actually just fixing my account. So yeah.
I was gonna say we're trying to get rid of that extra account before Lori gets home.
It's almost, I think I had to make sure I locked down the video that I didn't mean to post there so I could delete the other account. I'm not sure how that, it's confusing. I got a new phone and then I lost access to TikTok, and in the process of trying to get it back, I ended up duplicating an account somehow. It's stupid.
Yeah.
It was a rookie mistake.
I just recently started using it. It's one of those accounts I just never dealt with, didn't do nothing with it, and somebody said, "Oh, you got to try it. You got to do this. You got to do that." And I'm like, "Okay, we'll see what happens."
I'm not a fan.
Yeah, me either. Not
It's
a big
not
fan.
TikTok. I'm it's gonna sound pig-headed again, but I'm too good for TikTok. I don't need that
Hey,
shit.
nothing wrong with that. We all have to have standards of something.
It's not my
Not
I'll
your
try
thing.
it. I don't think it's gonna work though. Every time I get on TikTok, all I see is half-naked millennial chicks running around, changing the spark plugs in their car in a thong and stuff. And I'm not saying that's bad entertainment or anything, but that's not what I'm creating.
Yeah,
You know,
I hear you. I don't like
creating
getting all.
stuff
Like I said, I'm about to turn mine off because I don't like getting all these notifications of people I don't know.
yeah, it's a little weird too.
Yeah, I'm like, who? Like, mm-mm.
Hey Hodges, I ran into the rancher today, the property. He said you should have been here about a week and a half ago. He said he was out there on his horse, and the tracks that I found were fresh then, and it spooked his horse. His horse bucked him. He's like, "Yeah, you should have been here about a week and a half ago." He said, "Came right across fresh tracks," and he said the horse spooked, and next you know, I'm on the ground.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But man, that snow was deep. With the wind, a couple of weeks ago, I was up on top of one hill and it had blown up there and everything looked level.
Yeah.
You're walking along and all of a sudden, oh shit, I'm down in snow up to my waist. Yeah, I was like, oh, this is bad.
Huh. It didn't look like you had a lot of snow around your house, so.
No, we're down to 2-3 inches here. It's not hardly anything. It's all kind of melting away.
Yeah, I think all next week, and part of this week, the highs are all above freezing. Like we got 2 days or something, give me 41 degrees. Like, holy crap, It's hard to believe for coming up the middle of January.
Yeah.
Hey, Carlos.
Got ya!
Oh, he changed his name.
Yeah. All right. All right, kiddies. I'm jumping.
Okay.
I'm gonna go grocery shopping, pick up Lori, and I'll catch you guys later.
All right.
Sorry, David. No
Thanks,
hard
Jack.
feelings.
Catch you later.
Yeah, in 2 minutes I'm leaving. I'm going out tonight, so.
I'm not really shouldn't be on here anyway. I'm so distracted with the other stuff, trying to get rid of a TikTok account and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
Can't have people running around in thongs on my TikTok channel. It's got to be fixed.
Yeah. Where mama gets home.
Where mama gets home. You should see me trying to get that video past her. Ron, that was something. She's like,
Oh, really?
well, I showed her. She's like, you filmed that? Because she didn't know.
Oh, she didn't know.
She didn't know. I mean, no, she had no clue. She had her hood blocked her view. I'm just standing there holding the pocket too, filming. Like, yeah, she didn't know. She's okay
Strong
with it.
work. You got it approved. Strong work.
She agreed it kind of made the story. That part of the story was kind of comes together with it, even though it was racy. We pixelated the crap out of that thing. It was fine. Anyway. All right, peoples. You guys have a great night. I'll catch you later.
Hey, you do the same, Chuck. We'll see you.
Thanks.
Yep.
Everybody.
Catch you later.
Hey, Mark White. I remember, when was that? 4 years ago when I was back in Philly at the show that I'm going to in February. That's when Rodney Bell, Dennis Lovelady, Drone Bomb.
I'm using OBS or the hell?
We all met up down with Mikey down in Philly, and then the night before I left, I went down into Philly with Mikey. I met him at 2:00 in the morning. We were down to do some night photography down there in Center City, Philly. And Dre, your wife could probably relate to this, but we're down there, Center City, 2:00 in the morning, and we hear gunfire literally a block behind us. We didn't budge. We didn't bother. It's like, yeah, this is normal.
Yeah, that's what all of her relatives tell you. Is gunfire. And not even at night. You hear it all time of the day now. Morning,
Yeah.
midday, nighttime. Something's always popping off.
When she gets time sometime, Dre, just you want to see have her type in the Kensington, go on YouTube and the Kensington section of Philly. There's a guy, he has quite a few subscribers. He just drives around the Kensington section with a GoPro and films the streets. Oh my God.
Oh, I've seen that. Terrible streets.
Oh,
I mean, they're sitting right out there on the streets, one right after the other, as he's panning it from a car, and they're shooting up and everything else.
yeah. It's bad. Yeah. Check that out, Dre, sometime. She'll see how bad it's turned. And Kensington at one point wasn't that bad.
Mm.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
Well, I think the Osmo Action might be a keeper.
Yeah, you like it, do you?
So far, it needs some ND filters. Yeah.
So you got the called Osmo Action, right?
Yeah, the Osmo Action 3.
Okay, 'cause I just watched somebody's had something here. I think it was Sean Sullivan. He had let me see here. Okay, I lost it now. I guess he had one of the Osmos Pocket or something like that. And he was trying to film the moon. He forgot to turn it off and put it on his dashboard, I guess, as he went to work and everything else. And you can just see the clouds passing through the sky and stuff.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it was a great look because you thought it was a nicer camera. So, I mean, I guess that Action 3 can do pretty good at night because it's the middle of the night when he's filming this.
Yeah, I haven't touched it. I've only had it a couple of days, and
Yeah. I like math. Yeah. Well, howdy, Mr. David.
I'm all right, you?
Doing good, and yourself?
Yeah, could be better, could be worse.
Okay. I was about to ask you how you feeling today, but since you already told me, I won't ask.
No medical issues today, David?
No, today's just been one of them days I wish I never woke up.
Yes, sir, I got it.
That was good news.
All right.
That was the clinic. They can get me in early tomorrow.
There you go.
Oop.
Now, what will you put a compress on that and sleep with that on there tonight, or?
Yeah. I'll try.
Picking fights with trees, are you, Ron?
What, pardon me?
Picking fights with trees, are you?
Yeah, I had a fight with a tree and lost. 3-1, Ron 0.
Right.
I think it is when I fell in one of those ditches. Like I said, everything looked flat and level, and I'm walking along in 3-4 inches of snow, and all of a sudden, sing, down I go about 1.5 feet.
Ron, have you seen what Justin put in the chat?
No, I heard Matt got the action file. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, he would. Yeah. Yeah, it's so far it's a good little camera.
So with the pictures just a little blown out, are they, or what?
Pardon me, Paul?
Are they just a little blown out a bit that are neat filters?
Yeah. And again, it's cold outside, and I just went out. I just put it in automatic settings, but I'm gonna test it. I have 4 months to test it.
Yeah.
So I've only had it 2 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the clinic. They said they can move me up to 9 a.m. from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. I'm like, I'll be right there. So.
Yeah. Well, people at 6:30, I'm gonna take off. I'm going up for a coffee tonight, so
Okay, Paul.
I'm gonna go see Ken and Pat tonight. So
No hot date tonight, Paul?
no hot date. Yeah, not yet. It'll probably be the weekend. So
I'm on Facebook and I'm seeing Paul Hodges' new womanizer trick.
yeah,
Proof it only takes 3¼ inches.
yeah. That's how long a credit card is.
Oh.
I didn't want to say the rest of it, Paul. Let them all thinking, what's 3¼ inches?
Yeah, it takes 3.5 inches to keep a woman happy.
There you go.
That's a pretty accurate statement.
Okay, anyway, guys, have a good one. Catch you in the morning.
Okay, Paul. Take
Yeah.
care. That's funny. Paul Hodges tip of the day. So Dre, any more thoughts on the
Well, now that I, it's just lucky I have iOS tablets and stuff, but like I said, I don't.
On chocolate.
The tablets are mainly with my Phantoms and doing mapping, but lucky I had an extra phone line around. And like I said, I'm always like you. I'm always thinking about this stuff constantly. And I kept thinking, I said, this thing's been out too long for have the bugs and the software like this still. And something just told me to go ahead and fire up this iOS phone, the 6 Plus that I had sitting around, and just I downloaded it and everything else, and it worked just smooth. And I got all the menus that I'm supposed to get that I was not getting on my Android phone. I'm like, wow, it's almost like night and day, like it's totally different.
really?
Yeah, totally different operation. I said nice and smooth. I even felt that I was able to make more adjustments in the settings because I got the extra menus, and the picture even came out a little clearer where I used it indoors. So the only thing I know for still right now is that I tried to use a file off the SD card, and it was not compatible with my software as far as incorporating it into my timeline. There may be another way I can do it. I just haven't learned it yet. I think there is a way. I know my software has a thing for 360 stuff. So I don't know if I got to take just the pictures and let it stitch together, or will it accept a already processed 360 file?
Well, what it says that the Insta360 program actually will run that.
Yeah, the Insta360 program will run it also, but I'm just trying to just work at what it had. Cause basically, when you record the stuff, I'm just trying to use the file that's on the SD card. So I'm just trying to figure out if I need to just take the still pictures and have it stitch it together so it'll work in my editing software, or do I need to start playing more with this Adobe Premiere? Because Adobe Premiere incorporated no problem at all. And stuff.
Oh.
I'm just not real familiar with Adobe Premiere and how to use this timeline and stuff and everything. So I gotta start learn to play with that a little bit also. David, is that a scarecrow next to you or something? I see his arms flinging around.
Yeah. Hey guys, do you want to know how bad my luck is? I got these chocolates. And I can't.
Is that Cadbury's?
Yeah, and I can't eat them.
Really?
They taste like bleach. They've made an absolute botch of them.
You getting vouchers?
Okay.
They're gonna send me a voucher to apologize.
I don't even know how you screw up some Cadbury's like that.
Apparently, it's something to do with the.
Somebody cleaned the machine with bleach and didn't clean the machine.
No, it's something to do with this. Apparently, you can actually see where it's affected. It's something to do with the chemicals in this that's gone into the chocolate.
Oh,
Package it.
Yeah, I just got my family we had a visit over the weekend from Austin, Texas, brought a box of they call them Texas pralines, which is no more, I guess other places call them turtles. We got the chocolate with the pecans in it and the caramel, all hooking it all together and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. So is Laura trained to get her her trucker license or something?
She's trying to someone.
No, I just want. I see all these videos she's putting up of her driving this trucker simulator.
Yeah, she's racing me on Euro trucks.
Oh, you're
Got live on
racing.
my YouTube.
Okay, I thought she was actually just driving around checking out the sites, like people do the flight.
no.
simulator.
American trucks, that's what I do.
That's her American trucks, but on the Euro trucks,
Mhm.
she's a blooming menace.
Hey, I took you out today.
What makes it even worse is Justin and blooming Rob encourage her.
Mhm.
$50 gift card. I'll be lucky if I get a £1 gift card for that.
I got more than that when I put a hair in my dime bar.
What, $50?
You got about 60, 70 English.
Really?
He's certainly your buddy, David.
oh yeah.
Yeah, for another
Kiss.
7,
Don't
8,
walk
9,
away from
10
me.
days.
Go away. Don't go away.
So what are you gonna do in the end of 10 days?
That's when we find out what we got to do. Whether they've got to be rehomed or temporary owned or whatever. Had an appointment tomorrow with one of my doctors to help us get some medical points, and they cancelled it this evening,
Wow.
last minute. She said she will ring me in the coming weeks to arrange a new appointment. It's getting a bit familiar, this. We got 10 days to go. And to make it matters even worse, is the homeless team won't budge on the 20th of February, even though technically it's supposed to be out on the 20th of January.
Wow.
It just doesn't make sense anymore. That was the other thing. I got banned off the BBC website, the BBC News website, because they've done an article on rents in the UK going up, and they had a comment section. And in the comments, somebody put that he had lots of houses in the local area that was within the local area allowance. So all I said to him was, have you got any properties for me, my partner, my birds? And I got banned for soliciting and trading.
Wow.
Hmm.
That's crazy.
I didn't get to see if he replied to say yes or no.
Did you call the BBC?
You can't call them. They'll law to themselves.
I guarantee the BBC is right next to the royal family.
Yeah, probably. Hmm.
Oh, well.
I mean, the BBC is like the ultimate communication in UK. From television, radio, internet. Everybody say, I got to listen to the BBC.
What?
Tune into the BBC.
No, we're not going out.
Well, we'll just have to go out, won't we? Stop standing there doing, this, because
We were very good tips for acid reflux, apart from don't eat chocolate.
Well, the whole thing is unacceptable, and I'm sure you guys realize that. Because they're certainly not looking out for you guys.
no.
And Paul, it's to us here in America, it seems so strange. And that's why I tell people you don't know what other countries are fully like
The worst bit is,
until
to us
you're in
in
their
the
shoes.
UK, to us in the UK, it's strange. The council have pinned us in this little area where they say you can only have a property if it has a shower with cubicle. To get a shower with cubicle, there's sheltered accommodation, but we're not deemed for sheltered accommodation. So they've got us in that little grey area and won't budge. They know what they're doing. What will happen when we end up, out on the streets? They'll get more money from the government to sort us. We know what they're doing.
But in the meantime, your birds are going to have to suffer.
Exactly. We have to suffer.
But in the States there, David, I don't think they're doing anything, even though you're not getting a whole lot. They don't even, and correct me, Paul and Dre, if I'm wrong, but they're not even doing half of what you're getting now.
No, they don't do anything.
They don't assist in the States here at all.
No.
Yeah, but I'm just been catching on what he's been telling us over time. Like he's talking about getting points added to his status if his doctor can provide a letter or whatever else. And I'm like, and I'm sitting shaking my head. I'm like, okay, now your doctor can, your medical situation is also involved in your housing situation.
Yeah.
And that's something that we don't even consider. Think about it.
Correct.
I'm like,
Well, the sad part of it is, Dre, is he is already designated as disabled.
right, I get that part, but I mean,
and disabled enough, Dre, that they're paying for somebody to take care of them.
right. Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
but
I'm
it's-
just going to the fact that, here in America, we have ADA laws, okay, for people with disabilities, as far as you got to have, it's got to be a handrail within 18 inches center of the toilet. You got to have ramps and all this kind of stuff. Parking lots, they have to be within 5%. Any directions got to be flat surface. All these different things, rules and regulations that we have.
Yep.
I'm listening to him saying that, okay, in addition to those laws, which I'm pretty sure they have in the UK, is for ADA compliant facilities and things of that nature, that even his doctor can play a role in his housing situation. And I'm like,
Actually-
wow,
Actually, we don't have all them laws. If we got a council property, we can ask for adaptations, but they don't have to give them.
See, there you go. See, I'm thinking that ADA laws should be fairly universal, and I would say in modern areas. But you
Modern society, right?
I was going to use society, but I said, well, we know there's other countries that just don't have it. And here, UK doesn't have those laws. that you have to be accommodating for ADA access and things like that, ramps and bathroom stalls, all this kind of stuff.
It's
that we see
strange.
every day.
Yeah. But it's strange. If I go to the shop have to cater for disabled.
Mhm.
Any business has to cater for disabled and so on. But the council and the housing don't have to.
Well,
It's weird.
With housing, if you have multi-family housing, which they say larger, we call apartment complexes, for every so many parking spots, you have to have disability or ADA compliant parking spot. And one has to be bad accessible, and other ones is regular accessible.
Here in like for commercial businesses and stuff, to 49 vehicle parking, you have to have 3 ADA approved handicap parking spaces up to 49. Then
Right.
at 50, you have to add another one, and then there's a scale from that point on that you have to keep on adding that many more spaces. And
Yeah,
hello,
and I-
everybody.
And I believe that they even trigger that the first 10 spots, once you hit 10, you trigger at least one. And then up to 49, you got to provide so many. Now, so I explained to them, Steve, he popped in about them. It's got to be on a flat surface with no more than 5-degree slopage in any one direction. So it's got to be fairly flat, or you can come out there and have to make you redesign, repave, do whatever that parking stall until it meets ADA requirements.
Unless you're grandfathered in on
Yeah,
your building
If it's
before.
an old property, yeah. If a new development within, you got to.
Oh, yeah.
You got to comply with new development, for sure.
The whole thing with this, guys, is that Andre, Steve, Paul, if you're disabled, if you can't afford housing, whatever in the US, and especially I said, if you're disabled or if you have a doctor's certificate of income, they don't care. They're not going to help you.
Mm-hmm.
Am I correct in that?
Well, yeah, to a certain extent, yeah, you're correct, because we have all these other laws that protect you in a certain way in your everyday life. Now, helping you get a place to live, you're on your own.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying, that, getting a place to live, you're on your own, and your families, wherever you can get together to get you a spot in. But I'm saying, but once you find a place, because it's also an issue for David, and he has to find a place that meets the requirements for his disability.
Affordable, that's where the Affordable Housing Acts
Right.
come in.
Right. That's why I'm talking about, that there has to be enough housing, or should be enough housing to meet the criteria for the population. And David's saying that that's the problem he's having, that one, they can't find anything immediately that meets the qualifications for him.
It's just out there. They're on.
And here, David, what we have here, like in the state of California, every 5 years, every city for the state mandate has to go through, and they have to show how much affordable housing and locations of where that development can be built in order for the expansion within the city. And if you go into, say, these apartment complexes, because I deal with them, they're building next to us, and a commercial building that I manage, and then also at they're trying to get one in down here in our local city to put in 395 unit apartment complex. And of that, you have the standard base rate. Then you have affordable, and then you have the next level of affordable, and then what they call is extreme level affordable.
Yeah.
But right here in Orange County, for our city, being in Dana Point, what is considered affordable housing of income is considered $2,250 a month for rent. That's
Wow.
considered affordable housing.
I think this morning they were talking about what is middle class, and they're talking about, I think it was the LA and Orange County area. They were saying you had to make somewhere $175,000 a year to be considered lower middle class. Out where I live at, it's $150-something thousand a year to be considered middle class. You have to earn.
Because I've,
The biggest thing about what the Steve's talking about, and what people don't realize is the largest population of our nation here in the United States is still baby boomers. And what are baby boomers doing? We're all retiring. So all this affordable housing thing has been mandated. That is part of the reason why. Because everybody, you know, like I say, you might, if you were fortunate enough to have a home, live in a home, you know, all your life, you have some equity if you paid it off or whatever. But people in larger cities like a Chicago, a Philly, a New York, whatever, where renting is more common, they have no equity. So building these affordable housing units in these basically higher income areas is the only way that your retiring population is going to be able to afford to continue to live in where they've basically been living all their lives.
yeah, because like around in the city of Laguna Niguel, which is roughly, say, from where I'm at right now, is 8 miles up I-5. And the studio apartment there goes for $23.95 a month for a studio apartment.
How much are people earning in these places?
They're making more than the average around here, but the problem is we've got so many people, especially like Dre was saying, you know, the biggest population is the baby boomers. But what has happened is all those kids now are growing up, they're still living with mom and dad because they can't afford to move out.
Yeah.
And what's happening is these studio apartments are ending up with not just, you know, a boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever. They're putting 2 and 3 and 4 people in a studio apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's happening over here. There's lots of houses that are being split into rooms rather than giving you a house to live in or apartment to live in.
And that's why I said there's a lot of money coming out, or it's been coming out over the last, I would say, 20 plus years out of DC for HUD housing for senior complexes for that purpose. Like I said, I know my hometown of Fontana, California, they pretty much revitalized the whole downtown with senior housing. Tore down all the old stores and mom and pop shops and stuff, and just replaced it with senior housing and stuff. Pretty much all through HUD money coming out of Washington, D.C. and stuff. Because like I said, once again, the aging population is the baby boomers. And like I say, there's no place for these folks to continue to live because they can't afford to live in a nice area down there where Steve's at and stuff. If I wanted to retire and move down to Orange County, I couldn't afford it. You know,
It's the prices are ridiculous. I mean, I was fortunate when I bought the house that I'm living in now, it was my first marriage, and my wife didn't want to move down here. She wanted to stay up in the Orange area, Anaheim area. I said, no way, I'm going to stay down this way. And so we went back and forth until she finally got used to being down here by the beach to where you see my drone flights. I mean, I'm 1.1 miles driving on the road to the entrance of that harbor. So, I mean, I'm real fortunate. And what I paid for this house back then, which we had major upgrades along the way, and we took out a second on it. Not a second, we refinanced, but I don't own almost diddly squat. I'm not going to pay it off, not when it's 3% interest on a home loan. I'm not going to bother paying it off. I'm going to let the bank sit on it. But I paid $169,000. The home across the street from me sold for and it's the lowest one that sold around here. And the reason being, it was built back in the 50s. It needs major, in essence, it needed to be gutted or tear the whole home down and rebuild. It sold for $1.50 million.
Yowzers.
yeah.
It's all about location, guys. Like me, I'm actually considered, if I'm understand this correctly, I'm kind of like in the middle class, lower middle class of Wyoming. You go to like Jackson Hole, Wyoming, where, you know, ski resorts and whatnot. Yeah,
Multiple millions.
you know, But I got in here, my God, just literally, I think within 3 or 4 months of the right time, I'm right on, I am literally 2 miles from a Wyoming State Park. Right now it's quiet, but come April through October, this place is booming.
Well, and you got a lake there too, right?
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say is the fishing, the camping, the boating, this place is booming, and like right now, just talking to Terry today at the grocery store, things are kind of slow. And she expects that, but come April, things go absolute bonkers there.
Right.
Fishing bait that she sells and fishermen coming in buying lunches, for the day, and it's incredible.
It is like we were telling you when you were trying to make that decision, like we kept to you, buy, Ron, buy now.
Yeah.
Because the market, you're going to see this housing market now go gone. This next 3 years is going to be devastating.
Really? I keep getting a thing from my broker. It's the same message every time. They say, oh, your community is stable. I forget the wording they use, stable, but slowly growing or something. And
Stable but growing.
yeah, but I since I moved here, there's been at least 5 or 6 houses within 300 yards of me, 400 yards of me. And the 2 out back, the one, oh my God, the one that's right out here, it's a $500,000 house. And for a $500,000 house in this area, it's nice, it's huge, 3-car garage, and it's a nice place. A house like here, Steve, like in your area or Dre's area, would probably be close to $1 million. But yeah, but getting back to David, though, David, again, I know it doesn't make your situation any better, but it almost sounds in a small way like your government is helping more than what ours would. If you're homeless and if you're jobless, if you're disabled, they don't give a shit here. It's not their problem.
Yeah, they are helping, but we have our social care and stuff. The difference is we're like you guys, people that are, of the older generation, say my stepdad, for instance, they got lucky because they got a council place back in the 80s and the government brought in this right to buy, and you could buy your property for only a percentage of what it's worth. So suddenly, overnight, all these people in the 80s became homeowners. And that meant there's no social housing anymore, no housing for anyone to rent or anything. And then what happened, as time's gone on, the rich landlords have bought them. They're whacking up the rents because they just see pound signs, and it's just getting worse and worse. People that would have bought a house in 1982 for £3,000 could now think of selling that house for nearly 550,000. That's a lot of increase.
But it sounds, and Dre and Steve, you can account for this more than me. It sounds like the UK is more, how do I say this, interested in keeping the housing or the homeless less. I mean, I know like famous places out in California that these beautiful beaches and stuff that they have are full of encampment. Am I right, Steve?
Yeah, you're right.
Look at, all you have to do is just go down into Los Angeles, downtown LA and the old district. I mean, as a kid growing up, it was beautiful. San Francisco, gorgeous place to go. Now it's homeless encampments up and down everywhere. People are defecating on the street. They're urinating on the street, syringes, everything up and down. I mean, this is an everyday occurrence,
Right.
not something that it's from, it's picked up and cleaned up. It isn't. They've left it. And it's just on the borderline of all these people, at least in our government. That's the point that upsets me, is they will bitch, moan, and complain about how they want everything for the people and they want to do it, but yet in their right bone backyard, they do nothing for the people.
But
And
Yeah, that happens a lot over here. It's like, we need more housing, but not in my backyard.
sure what happened to Dre.
Dre dumped out.
But
Yeah, well, that is true. It's not in my backyard, but what's happened here, at least it started back when Obama became president. He was trying to take away where there could be no more single family homes. It was all multiple unit housing. So in other words, duplexes, fourplexes, all the way on up to, like, we've got ones now, the brand new ones is just finishing up. It's 460 apartment units that are in there. Another one's 309. They're just breaking ground for now.
Yeah, they're doing that here as well.
but
And
David, if I may ask you a question,
yeah,
if I'm being too forward or nosy, please tell me.
No, it's fine.
You said that the government pays Laura X amount of dollars.
Yeah.
She is hired to take care of you. Is it really required that she be with you 24/7?
No, it's required that if I go out the property, she needs to be with me, in case I have a seizure or whatever. Also, she has to control my medication, and she just has to do the basics, basically.
But
What
is Laura,
a community nurse would do.
is Laura, I mean, is it really a full-time job for her to look after you? I mean, we see you on here, you seem to be okay. Again, we don't know what things are like.
Yeah, because I wouldn't come on here if I was having, if I weren't feeling well or something. If you just suddenly see me drop off, something's gone wrong, or if I just slunk out of the seat.
Yeah, you have seizures periodically without any warning, right?
So, and it's the same when I go out. A lot of people, when I go out, they go, oh, hi, David, where have you been? Yeah, it's like, well, I've been at home. I just don't go out. There's nowhere to go, because if I have a seizure and I'm on my own, I'm screwed, because society over here now, they take it the wrong way. I had one a few years back just on the other side of the railway bridge here. And because my seizure happened and I felt it happening and I jumped across the road, I was literally in the road and I thought, I'm going for the pavement at least. And I landed where there were some beer cans and bottles that some louts had the night before. And because I'd landed there and let the seizure happen, I had a woman in my face shouting at me, saying I should be ashamed for being drunk and disorderly at that time of morning.
Really?
I was like, because I was coming out of it, I was thinking, what is she going on about? Why are you saying I'm drunk and disorderly? Get me help. Help me up or something. And it was only after I got up and I looked round, I was like, ow. So she just assumed that was me. And that's how society's going over here. They don't care anymore.
And David, your seizures can last for minutes or even up to an hour, right?
No, it wouldn't be an hour.
The seizure itself is normally seconds to minutes, maybe. I think the longest I've had is about 7 minutes. But
wow, that's a long time.
You can have a seizure and then have another one almost immediately. So they look like they're all of one, but they're probably not. It's like multiple seizures, but obviously I'm not coming out of the last one quick enough to understand that I'm going into another one. Yeah. And they happen randomly. It doesn't necessarily mean that every time I have a seizure, I'm going to have another one. I mean, the one on Friday was completely different to what I've ever had before. Normally, it starts higher up and then all the muscles spasm all the way down. This time on Friday, it started in my legs and went upwards. And then obviously, I felt the chest pains, which I just thought was, normal. And I got myself stuck in a sort of position like this. And I had this hand was gripping my arm here, and this hand was gripping my chest. And when I came out of the seizure, normally after a couple of minutes, my muscles tend to retract and release. Ron will know what I mean by that, I suppose. When you have a seizure, your muscles tense up. And yeah, so normally as I come out of it, they tend to release. Sometimes not. Sometimes Laura has to, massage the leg muscles to. Yeah. On Friday, nothing she could do. Everything she was doing was not working. I was literally just legs. I couldn't feel my legs, and my arms were stuck like that. That's why the ambulance was called. I was like, I'm not going to hospital. Not going to hospital. Laura's like, you're bloody going. But I managed to convince the paramedics that, look, it's going to be a waste of time. I've had the seizure. Whatever's happening has happened. It's done. Yeah. There's nothing going to hospital can do if it's just a seizure.
Mhm.
It was only when they did the ECG that they said, it looks like you've had a heart attack because the ECG's all
Sure.
bad. But because obviously I was like, well, I've had it. They said, yeah, it doesn't mean you're going to have another one, but keep an eye out for any chest pain, stuff like that. Because sometimes a small one means you're going to have a bigger one. So they said, just look out for that. And if there's any chest pain, straight to A&E. Don't mess around. Don't, And I was like, yeah.
But the sad part of it is, in your case, you or Laura don't drive and don't have a car.
No.
So he says, get to wherever. Okay, what do you hail a cab or a bus, or what do you do?
Well, we ring an ambulance.
Yeah.
The ambulance are free over here. They don't. It's not like in America where they'll turn up, pick you up, and charge you 250 quid or whatever the going rate is at that time. Yeah, they will come and they will treat you at the spot, and then put you in the ambulance and take you for the rest of the care. Which is how they was able to check me and stuff like that and do the ECG in the ambulance.
Mhm.
My blood pressure was 210 over 143, I think. And yeah, when they did the last blood pressure check, because they have to do 3, one when they get there, one in the middle, and one before they release. And when they left, it was 160 over 110. So it come down. So they were saying that, yes, it's still high, but it's with the ECG and that, they were saying that whatever it was has happened. There's nothing they can do. I can go to hospital, have more tests, get kept in for a few days or whatever, but it wouldn't help my situation.
David, what's your blood pressure normally? Or do you test it?
We don't normally test it, but it's normally around about 70 to 80 over whatever the lower number is. It's normally pretty good.
Mhm.
Your upper number's got to be higher than 70 or 80.
Yeah.
Well, he's
the other way
talking
around.
Celsius.
Yeah. He's talking about his diastolic.
Yeah, to be honest, like I said, I don't measure it. I just get told by the doctors this is what it is. But normally they're always telling me I've got a good heart rate. I mean, 2019, they told me I had a really healthy heart for someone of my age.
How old are you, David?
45.
Okay.
But I was 43 back then. No, it was younger than that. But they said I had a really good heart rate. And
Right.
what happened, I got this viral infection. This is pre-COVID. You would swear it was COVID, but it was in June 2019. I said to Laura, I'll be fine. I'm not going to hospital. No. On the Sunday, I just felt everything was giving up. And I said to Laura, I think it's time for the ambulance because I think that's it, I'm gone. And she's like, it's man flu, shut up. Yeah. Anyway, she called NHS 111, which is our pre-ambulance service. They said, it sounds bad. We'll send you an ambulance. The ambulance team rung up and said, there's been a big emergency. There's no ambulances. We're going to send you a taxi. And an Uber turned up. Yeah. They took,
And an Uber showed up?
yeah. They took me to the hospital and they did all the blood tests straight away. You go through the triage team. And they said, it's an 8-hour wait. It's such manic out there. It's an 8-hour wait. 20 minutes later, I've just got ripped out of the chair by this doctor in a suit, face mask, everything. It was like, come with us. Laura was left, sat there. She was like, where did he go? That sort of thing. All my stuff was just left there. Next thing you know, I'm in a
So they
room.
thought you were contagious. They were dressed for it, right?
Yeah, they had me in a room. They had all the drips on me, everything, machines, bleeding away. And then Laura comes in. She's like, oh, there you are. And then the doctor's come in and he just started saying to her, he says, we've tested his blood. His tropin levels or whatever they're called are so high.
Troponin. Yeah.
They were so high. There was 3 times the level of someone that's having a stroke.
Wow.
Yeah. I was like, that is jack shit to me. What you talking about? And then they started saying to Laura, you need to prepare for the worst. We may, it's up to you, but is he religious? Do you want the chaplain and all this? And I'm
Last
like,
rights.
yeah, I was sat there in this bed going, hey, dudes, I'm still here. I can hear you.
Don't call chaplain yet.
And then next thing you know, the nurse comes in and she put a tag on me.
Oh, shit. You put it on your toe, didn't
She
you?
didn't put it on your right big toe, did she?
Oh, what I mean is, it was a tracker.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they know exactly where I've been in the hospital.
Mm.
And I was confused. I was like, Laura's like, you're not coming out of here tonight. I'm like, I bloody well am. Next thing you know, they're like, oh, no, you're not. And they were telling me that I was really lucky to survive it. And like I said, on the Tuesday, when they said I was able to go home and I was so excited, started packing everything up. Trainee nurse came in. She looked at me. She went, you're having a heart attack. I was like, no, a couple of weeks ago, they told me I've got a healthy heart. What are you talking about? I'm fine. She went, no, you're having a heart attack. Get back on the bed. I was like, no, I'm not. I'm going home. That's me done. I'm out of here. Yeah. Next thing you know, my whole chest was just felt like it'd been ripped and pulled and dragged in every direction possible. I could never felt anything like it.
Like you were going to explode, huh?
Yeah. And she just flung me onto the bed and she's like, hit the panic button. They're all in. It's like, heart attack. Boom. I was like, the hell?
Just to explain to you, David, troponin is a chemical released from the muscle of the body. And there are 2 types. One is cardiac specifically, and one is the rest of your body. Explain this in simple terms.
Yeah.
A lot of my cardiac patients, that's one of the first things I ask, what's the troponin, and you can have an EKG, in other words, where they put,
All the ECG over here. Yeah. All the little.
ECG.
Yeah.
You can have one that's perfectly normal, but then they look at your troponin. When they pull your blood work, they look at your troponin as well, your cardiac troponin. It's like,
Yeah.
wait a minute, his EKG's okay, but his troponin sucks.
Yeah.
And people could say, well, I'm looking at my heart rhythm, it looks fine. I'm not having a heart attack. Well, look at your troponin level. And that's the real big deciding factor.
Yeah. I can't remember if they said I had my levels were 18,000 or your levels should be 18,000 and you're above that.
Right.
But they were saying it was 3 times the level of someone having a stroke.
Shit.
Yeah. So, yeah. Everybody keeps saying,
David, was this pre-COVID?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, David, do you get any indications before you're going to have an event?
No, not sometimes. Yes, sometimes no. Sometimes I get a metallic taste in my mouth that, you know, I know something. Sometimes I'm just all worked up and I feel stressed for no reason. I know something's going to happen. Other times, say I'll have a few little wobbly moments. I know to sit down, but sometimes no, it's just bang, gone.
And when you do that, you're kind of out of it, right?
Yeah, for the first whatever, you know, I know that I'm going down, and then the next thing you know, I'm getting up.
Bang, and the stain is gone.
But it's like when I did get COVID, and the ambulance came at 3 a.m. They took me in, and they said, because you've got COVID, you have to go in a special side of the hospital. Then they said, we've got no beds. And when I went in, there was like beds everywhere. So they sat me on a chair, and I don't think they realized it was as bad as they were saying, as I was saying. You know, I was burning up. I felt so hot. Laura couldn't touch me. She said, when they moved me off the floor, there was a wet patch where, you know, like a murder scene on the floor. And they had me in this chair anyway, and he was trying to get the what do you call them?
IV.
Yeah, the IV things, the little
Yeah.
what? Cannula. Yeah, in the arm. Couldn't get it into my arm. So they tried this side of my arm, couldn't get it in. He says, I'm gonna have to go for your hand. And I just said to him, I looked at him, I went, something is not right. Something is seriously not. Bang, gone.
You were
I
out.
know for a few seconds it was pure black, peaceful, tranquil, nothing, just darkness.
You need a paramedic to start your IVs.
Yeah.
Seriously.
And then obviously, next thing I come round, I come out of it and I'm looking around. Everything was blurred, but I could see my blood test result, all my blood samples that we're trying to get for my COVID tests were all on the floor, scattered everywhere. There must be like 5 of these little bottles. And this doctor, he's got my legs in the air and he's like, you can do it. You can. I'm like, the fuck is going on?
Are you giving birth?
That's what I thought. I was like,
I got it.
apparently,
Bush.
what he was trying to do was get my blood flowing again. He said he just couldn't get the blood out of my arm.
Wow.
So the bits he did get, he wasted on the floor by, you know, because obviously I went out. But what I thought was maybe 3-4 seconds of me going, dump. Yeah. He said I was gone for 8 minutes. And apparently 2 minutes longer, they would have declared me dead. So it was just weird. How
So there was no heartbeat or anything for the 7 or 8 minutes.
you know, and this is probably why I'm having all the chest pains now all the time, because they've never followed it up afterwards. You know,
They just released you.
A question for you, David. What did they finally diagnose at?
Well, when in 2019,
Mhm.
they never worked it out. They just said it was a viral infection beyond what they've seen. So it could have been COVID, pre-COVID, yeah, and they've never seen it before. Or, you know, it could have been food poisoning or something of viral of
But what
That's the thing.
amazes me, Ron, is there was no follow-up.
nothing. Because obviously in June 2019, the hospital said we will follow up in 6 to 7 months time to start looking at what you know, they obviously needed to get, you know, give my body time to recover and stuff, but so they had me on the medication that they need to take me on and all this weird stuff. They said in 6-7 months time I had to go back and they were going to do full x-rays and do all this stuff. But
That's an
obviously,
awful long time to wait to check you over again.
it is. But obviously, in that time, I'm already on what they call blue light emergency. So in other words, if I suddenly become ill again, they don't, like now, they would ring you, check you up, speak to you over the phone and decide if you need an ambulance. There was none of that. As soon as my phone hit 999, it's off. It's on its way. It's on its way, sort of thing. So they had me on that sort of service. But the whole idea was that, keep talking to my doctors, keep taking the medication, and then the hospital would follow up. But then COVID happened, nothing. Even to today, nothing. And sometimes when I go into the doctors, they go, "Oh, we got notes here to say you've got a healthy heart." And I was like, "Yeah, you're not seeing the one where I've got a dodgy one." And they go, No. And I go, "Look at the hospital side, because the doctors never followed it up. There's no records on the
There's
doctor's
no medical record of it.
Yeah, but on the hospital side, it's always there. So when I rung up on Friday, they instantly knew I had cardiac problems because it's on the medical thing that says you've got patients suffer, myocarditis, which is like a heart attack, but it's not.
So they were so worried about it, they sent an Uber.
In 2019, yeah. But then again, they wouldn't have known that, would they? They just have me arguing with Laura going, "I ain't going." Yeah. Just get me, just tell them just give me a prescription to, make me better. And they're going, "Hell no, you're going to hospital."
No, what you need is a cardiologist, not just going to an emergency room doctor. Ron knows a lot more than I do. I was a aero paramedic in the Air Force. We were the flying medics in the hospitals, and what you're talking about is just normal common sense, and why they're not doing it is ridiculous. Because nowadays, that's why I was going to wonder if they've had a follow-up and what the actual diagnosis.
I'll tell you why. Over here, we don't have this compensation culture. Yeah. I mean, it's becoming a bigger problem. Yeah. They're now starting to, realize that if they mess up, someone's coming after them. Yeah. But over here, it's not normally like that. I mean, to be honest, I won't chase the hospital and go, "I want compensation because you botched up." Yeah. I wouldn't do that because, they're trying to make me better and I'm getting it for free. Yeah. But over in the States, your insurance companies will say they did that to you. They're going to pay through the nose. That's when your Gloria Allred sort of turns up and goes, "They're going to pay through the nose."
No, Gloria Allred isn't going to do it unless it was some woman from a guy, and that has to do with it. She's only she's an ambulance chaser, but only for the women.
Yeah, but have you seen Rat Race, the film?
Yeah.
Where he puts the glass at the top of the stairs and he slips. And she suddenly appears out of nowhere. She goes, "Did you see? She slipped on that glass. Those jerks, they're going to play through the nose."
Go ahead,
What
Ron.
they try to do here, David, in the States is
Not the glory hole.
the,
That Ron,
Hey, TJ.
David.
yeah, the cookie cutter diagnosis, I'm having a heart attack. Well, the insurance companies here will say, "Well, you're having a heart attack," and excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Well,
we'll
they don't do that.
I'm just throwing a number out there, like 4.5 days in the hospital. And what the hospital tries to do is get you out the door in 4.5 days or less, because after 4.5 days, that insurance stops paying them. And now they're relying on the individual to pay out of pocket, which sometimes is very
Medicare, Medicaid, all that kind of stuff.
is very slim. There's I've got to be careful saying this, but I worked the ambulance company over the weekend, And I had a patient that was local, and I brought him from the VA home, the veterans home, over to the local hospital, 2-mile drive. And they wanted him transferred to the higher level, or not the higher level, but the veterans home that was about an hour and a half away later on. And the reason being is the insurance company would not pay the local hospital, even though the doctor there said, yeah, we can take care of them. Yeah, we can admit them. We can give them the same exact care.
Yeah.
Good. But due to money, they wanted him transferred. So I had to do a almost a 3.5 to 4 hour transfer. That's by ambulance. And my this guy who's second in command, who's a complete jackass, wanted me to put in my charting that I wrote about the patient while he this and that and that. I'm like, no. I said, that is Medicare fraud. I am not going to lie.
Yeah.
He needed this and needed that, and he needed to go here and needed to go there, because it was all about money. He could have been doing the exact same treatment at the hospital he was at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But did you know as well, say you guys come over here in the UK and you was run over, or you had a fall or a seizure or whatever, the ambulance will still pick you up. They will still take you to the hospital. They will treat you first,
Right.
and then they will ask for your details, but they don't bill you. They bill your government. And
Same
your
thing,
government,
same thing here in the United States. If you, same thing happened to you here in the US, the same thing would happen to you here.
yeah, so they would send the bill to our government and say,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, but I bet ours is a lot cheaper than yours.
Yeah, because what Ron is saying, the same thing happens, because one of the biggest healthcare providers here in the United States is Kaiser Permanente, and my dad was on it. Now, my dad ended up having a reaction to medication he had because they put him on an oral form of chemotherapy. Well, all the side effects that you see, only 2 did not occur to my dad within 48 hours of taking the medication. I mean, they put him in, so took him to the local hospital. Well, he was in essence, a coma, because he was out and they were on. Well, they said, well, we need to transport him. The doctor there said, well, how are we going to transport him when he is in a coma situation and he's completely hooked up, he's ventilated, and you're going to do it? And so they contacted my mom, and my mom says, you going to do it? Because you're going to bring over an ambulance or an air flight in order to get him to where you're going. And you better have every piece of equipment being able to transport him that he is on now, or his life is in your hands. Guess what Kaiser said? Oh, we'll leave him there. So he was there for 10 days before they released him to be transferred, where he was able to be, he was stable enough to be transferred. Because Ron would, if he would have saw my dad sitting there going, no way in hell we're taking the responsibility of transporting a patient. in this
Over
condition."
here as well, when I go into hospital, they'll treat me for what I have. If I have to stay in, we stay in that immediate hospital. Once I'm well enough not to be on the machines and everything, we get moved onto the wards. And all the transfer is within the hospital. You're all within one massive unit. You know, if you've got cancer, you're in the same unit. If you're having a heart attack, you're in the same unit, but in a different section. And,
Right. Mhm.
you know, everything's all there. It all linked. So say like I had to go, I went off on one now and started smashing the place up. The ambulance would come. They'd be like, you're coming with us. They'd probably have me arrested and handcuffed to take me there. I get treated in A&E, and then they move me round the corner to the mental health unit, where then you get a psychiatric assessment and stuff. And if you're deemed safe to go home, you can go home. If not, you're going in a padded cell. but it's all done in the same place.
Well, we can answer that question for you, David. Yeah, put him in padded cell now.
It might be an option, yeah.
Well, like in a lot of the big medical, the medical complexes, and Ron, he's been around all over the, many states and medical, seen it all. Kaiser is that way. Now, some of the bigger hospitals that we have close around here, they have everything that what you're talking about the same way. Cancer wards, everything to do with every type of specialized thing. And that's one thing I will give Kaiser. Once he was in the facilities there, they took really good care of him, and they put him in the right units, and they're taking care of him, and they did a good job. And they did for my mom too.
Yeah.
And they were underneath that. Now, I'm on Olfart's medication for Medicare. So my insurance is Medicare. And with my doctors, I can go to any hospital. There's ones I know I won't go to, but if anything in an emergency because of Medicare, I can go into any hospital.
Yeah. Do you have to pay for your medication, your tablets?
I'm on insulin.
Yeah. A lot of it over here, I get it all for free, obviously, because of my seizures and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're working, you just have to pay £8. I think it's £8.75 now, and that covers all your prescription. So the doctor could put 200 tablets on there, but you're only paying £8.75.
Wow.
But then again, if he puts one tablet on there, it's still £8.75.
David, over in the UK, do you have? I have a funny feeling you don't. The amount of lawsuits that we have in the US.
Probably not. It's growing. It is growing. You'll see now. This has started back in the 90s. If a bus crashes, you can guarantee there's two people on that bus when it crashes, 2 passengers and the driver. But once the report goes in, that bus was jam-packed full. In fact, there was more people on that bus than it can hold. They come out of everywhere. And now, even in the hospitals, they started putting posters up going, have you been badly treated by your hospital? Call this number, sue them. And it's why is that in the hospital? Why has the hospital got that there? Why are they saying you?
Because they're getting paid for it.
The reason I asked that is I'm just going to use an example that I had last weekend. I had how old was this kid? 5. And they had brought him in to the local hospital where I'm based. And I know the doctor. He's an excuse the expression, he's an asshole. He's a jackass. Very arrogant. Exact words to the parents. And this is something you don't say to the parents of your 5-year-old, that he felt, he goes, due to local studies and local literature and blah, 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 we're not going to do this, we're not going to do that. But a lot of times we just give medications just to keep the parents quiet and get them to shut up. And he felt it was safe to release this 5-year-old child. This same child who lived in the town, where the hospital was, conditions got worse after they left the hospital 2 days later. So they transported by private car, the parents transported their child to the next town over, which is 90 miles. And they get there to find out that their kid is in renal failure. In other words, their kidneys are failing.
Yeah.
And, when I get there, the parents, oh my God, I was so careful as to what I said, what I did, and so sympathetic. But those parents were like, oh my God, we are going to sue the living shit out of the hospital based on what the doctor said, the way his demeanor, the way he was reacting, the sheer fact that they released him, said, yeah, he'll be fine, go home. Well, it turns out this kid was a hell of a lot sicker than what the
Yeah.
other doctor had said. We ended up taking the kid to Minnesota. We have a hospital in Minnesota called the Mayo Clinic, and they are the Mac Daddy of Mac Daddy hospitals,
Yep.
whole US.
Yeah.
There's people that come from other countries to St. Paul, Minnesota, and Rochester, Minnesota, like
Yeah, for them.
for that particular hospital, that's health system. But yeah, I don't think you have that. It doesn't sound like you have that there.
You can, but it's not something we think of doing all the time. You know, like I said, in 2003 when I was stabbed, yeah, they left me on the hospital bed in the corridor, and they said, "Oh,
I miss it, okay?
yeah." It's like 7 hours later, somebody came up to me and went, "Well, what are you doing here?" I'm like, "I'm still waiting to be seen." She took the thing I was holding against my chest off. She went, "How long ago were you stabbed?" I went, "About 8 hours ago."
Wait a minute. Back up again. You were stabbed in the chest?
Yes,
Your birds are covering that.
your birds are covered, yeah.
Yeah, it's only a small one.
But they said, hold on, you'll be okay. Don't,
No, they put what had happened when I got into the hospital, and you know, they obviously deemed I need to lay down. Yeah, but the doctor got distracted and ended up dealing with someone else, and I just got left there on this bed. And I was waiting. I could see all these doctors walking back. I was like,
Finally, some nurse came up to you and says, "What are you doing here?"
Yeah,
I'll stab in the chest.
Yeah.
So was this before you and Laura or after?
before.
Okay, so after you got stabbed that particular day, who called the ambulance or whatever?
Me. And I didn't get an ambulance because when I called them, where I was out in the middle of the countryside, and they said it'd be quicker for you to make your own way to the hospital than wait for an ambulance. So
how did you get to a nearest phone before you like started like whatever?
Oh wow! I had the brick back in 2000.
The old brick, yeah.
Well, it was a Nokia 3310 I had because that's what they was after when they stabbed me. It was after.
No, teach what it was is he had that can, but the string was about 15 kilometers long. So you know, hold on, I'll be right there. Where?
I'm just amazed that you were stabbed in the upper chest and you sat on a gurney while everybody's walking back and forth by you, and you're holding a pad on you.
Yeah.
And finally, some nurse or whatever says, "And what are you hitting deer for? What are you doing?"
Yep, that's exactly how it happened.
Your lung wasn't punctured?
It was a couple of millimeters away from my lung.
Oh, thank God.
But I was lucky. But like I said, I could have sued the hospital for that.
Yeah.
Because obviously, but I wouldn't think of doing that because at the end of the day, they still treated me. I was okay. And, you know, I'm still here.
Lucky. Ron, what do you say?
I mean, this is a little exaggerating, but this reminds me of that episode from Monty Python when one dude got his 2 arms cut off. Like,
oh yeah.
It's the flesh wound.
He was like, "What are you gonna do? Bleed on me?"
The flesh wound. That's what we're like over here in the UK. It's a flesh wound.
It's a flesh wound.
Oh my God.
Well, you know what, Ron? He tried calling you. He would have called you, but he didn't know you. He could have you fly over and pick him up and then take him over.
Well, the classic to me is they didn't send an ambulance for him. They sent an Uber.
No, that was in 2019.
That's what he's talking about.
Yeah, I actually made my own way to hospital by getting public transport. I got on the bus, and the bus driver looked at me and he went, "Where the fucking hell do you think you're going?" Yeah, and I was like, "I'm going to the hospital." And he went, "Why are you not waiting for an ambulance?" And I told him, And he just went to all the passengers. He said, anybody want to get off before Preston bus station? They're all like, no, Preston bus station. And he went, right, we're going on a detour.
Yeah.
He took me to the hospital. It was,
Wow, good for him. Somebody with some common sense.
This is so funny. It's sad.
it is.
It is.
This
But-
is unbelievable.
But I'll tell you what, that was in 2003. And everybody today keeps going, oh, it's getting worse. It's getting worse.
Oh shit.
Slightly, but no, it's not. It's still the same today as it was back then. You know, they will send you an ambulance. Doesn't mean you're going to get treated in the hospital until there's space, because our current government is cutting everything down to the bone. Everything.
Well, when you had your incident just a day or two ago, did you go to the hospital?
No, I refused. Well, I didn't want to go. And like they said, it's a suspected heart attack. It's over. There's nothing they can do. I was coming.
Can you imagine? They suspect he had a heart attack, and there's nothing we can do now.
No, because if it was a major heart attack, then obviously they wouldn't even listen to me. The fact I was talking, I was conscious, everything was back to normal.
A telephone diagnostic.
No, in the ambulance. They over here, the ambulance comes and they treat you first before they rush you off. They don't wait, hang around and go, oh look, better get him to the hospital. He's been stabbed. They will treat the wound and that first before they rush you off. So I still got sat in the ambulance.
Go ahead, Ron.
Just a flesh wound, you'll be all right.
No, but I was still sat in the ambulance. They still did the ECG. They still did the diabetes test.
So David, how did you end up getting stabbed anyway? Did you smart off to somebody, or
No.
did like somebody just come up and say,
They wanted to steal your mobile phone, right?
Right. What happened? I was with a different girl, not Laura, at the time. We actually split up because of this incident. Obviously, these lads were a bit gobby, and one of them shouted, "Give me your phone." And I just said to the girl at the time, I went, "I'm not hanging around for this, run." And I started to run, and she was like a bat. She'd gone. I was like, she gone. Yeah. So I was running, and I made a silly decision. Instead of staying on the road where it was level, I tried to run up the grass verge to get onto the path. And I run up the grass verge and stumble forward, and I thought he'd punch me at first. That's all I felt. It felt like I'd been punched in the chest.
But he stabbed you.
Yeah, I got up and I carried on running. And it was only when I got to the door, when my girlfriend at the time was stood there, she just looked and her face just dropped. And I was like, we're fine now. We're home. She's like, no, look.
You got blood everywhere.
Literally, my top at the time was like what Ron's colour. It was a Preston shirt. It had Baxi across the front, Preston badge here and so on. And suddenly it was a red one. Strangely enough, the football club the season after went to a red away shirt. maybe after me. Yeah.
Man, that's
But
crazy.
I didn't know I'd been stabbed until I got back to the door. The only good thing is they didn't get the mobile phone.
Save the mobile phone.
They ain't get my goddamn
That's
phone.
crazy.
Well, David, you know, anybody would question any of your medical issues. You've been going through a lot. You've got a lot of respect. I got a lot of respect for you, David. You are a survivor, but
You guys wouldn't know the half of it. You know, when I was 6, my brother wanted to make me a cup of tea. And I said, no, I want a cup of coffee. So I put my hand over to get the tea bag out of the cup. I was going to make my own. And the little shit tipped the hot kettle over my arm, all the way from down up here, all the way down there.
Oh my God.
I was in so much pain. And my dad said, oh, I know what to do. We can put butter on it to cool it down.
Butter?
The this is true. He did. He put what on it? Literally everything was just bubbling and blistering, and
Oh my god.
my dad, instead of ringing me an ambulance, he called my mum, who they'd split up about 6 months earlier. My mum came over, yeah, and she just looked and she went, "Where's the ambulance?" He said, "He doesn't need an ambulance." She punched my dad in the face. Clean over, right? She's like, he's going in the car. He's going in the car now to the hospital. Yeah, and next thing you know, I'm in the car and I'm being whisked off. Yeah, they thought I was going to have skin grafts, but I didn't. But you know, that's the sort of shit I've lived with all my life.
Well,
I
now
mean-
when did the having the incidents, not stroke, but the seizures?
Seizures?
At what age did that start?
I had a few in my teenage years, but nothing like I have now. But over, I'd say since 2003, they've got worse. And I'd say over the last 4 or 5 years, they're more regular than they were.
And now it's gotten to a point where they think it's not only seizures, but it causing you heart condition.
We don't know, because obviously I'm stressed. That's going to put pressure on your heart and
Oh, yeah.
stuff. So
Well,
maybe
Ron, what bothers me is nobody seems to follow up.
now, well, they will do this time because I've got an appointment with the doctors on Thursday, the 12th. So, you know, it will be
Just-
followed
Hey,
up this
David,
time.
just put butter on it, you know?
Yeah.
Don't listen to Paul. Don't listen to Paul.
No, I'll tell you what else. Since
Paul,
that
Barry-
day, that
Paul,
my
you remember this, and Steve probably too.
hey, Dominic,
Jay, but let's just put black salve on it.
Everything black salve, yep.
Black
yeah,
Sabbath.
I'll tell you what. Since that day, my brother scalded my arm. I have never had a cup of coffee. I don't like the taste of it now. Hate it. Oh, here, innit? Psychologically, just like, hell no, I'm not having that shit. But yeah,
We need to get David on some good THC drops for his epilepsy.
well, put it this way. When my dad moved out of when my dad left my stepmom, he used to beat her all the time and we used to hate it. When he left my stepmom at the age of 16, he didn't tell her when I was 16, he didn't tell her he was moving out. He said he was going fishing and just went.
Never
Yeah.
to be seen again, huh?
Never seen, and I've not spoken to him since that then. The last time I spoke to him was over the phone, and he says, "I've got news for you." He says, "You was never wanted as a child. We wanted a girl, but we got you." He says, "So you was never wanted." Yeah, that is what my life is all. So, you know, being treated shit by the doctors and stuff means jack shit. Yeah, because we went through hell as kids.
Yeah.
I can relate.
It means,
Well, you know, one thing, David, and Ron can attest to this. So can Paul. Teach you can, but you were younger than the rest of us.
Yeah,
But-
yeah.
But I don't care where you go. Everybody, you know, I'm gonna use frank words here, pisses, moans, complains about the United States and the medical system. But we have the best medical anywhere in the world because everybody comes here if they really want to be looking for get something fixed, major problems and everything. My cousin who lives in Saudi Arabia, she was married to, well, she's still married. She's still married. He's no longer there.
but I'll
He,
point something
he
out.
was a vice president of Aramco Oil, which is the oil industry for Saudi Arabia. Every year, every board of people on the board of directors is flown to the United States
Yeah.
and goes to George Washington University and comes in for a 2-day stay of nothing but battery of medical tests, exams, and everything.
But
Every
yeah,
single year
can
they go
afford
there.
it. They can afford it. This is part of our problem here, where the treatment's all free. Yeah, our system is clogged up by people coming here that can't afford it in other countries because they know they're going to get it free, and then our government will bill the government of that country. Yeah, they won't go chasing after you or TJ or Paul or Ron. They will say to Biden, "Oi, we treated this guy. Pay up." Yeah, they do that to your government. Yeah, and your government will pay. I don't know what happens after that, whether your government will chase you guys for it. But they know they can, if they've got cancer and they can't afford it on your what you guys call Medicare, but in other countries it's called different names. They can't afford it over there. They'll come to the UK.
Well, Medicare, so you know, David, is only once you've reached 65 years of age.
65 years of age.
All right. Well,
that is a retirement. There's what they call, like here for being in California, it's called Medi-Cal, and each different state has their own type of thing.
And Medicaid, a lot of people get confused. Medicaid is for the less people that can't afford.
Right.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Those people will come over to us and get the treatment because we'll treat first and bill later. We don't ask when we go into hospital. There's not the question of what's your name,
what's your insurance.
Yeah, it's what's your name, what's your date of birth, and then what's your problem. That's what they ask first, and then once they've treated you, the initial treatment, then they start asking the questions: where you're from, are you entitled to free NHS, stuff like that. That's how it works over here. Because no matter who you are.
That's like today, I actually went to the local clinic today, for my eye, and they said, well, and this is the area I live in. Well, we got 6 people and we're full. Really? And they said, you're not scheduled. We can't get you in till tomorrow. I'm like, dear God, you got 6 freaking people in front of me. I'm willing to wait a couple hours, so I'll go hang around town. No, they can't get me until tomorrow. No, I could drive 90, 100 miles to a bigger city where they'll get me in right away. But the phone call I got here about a half hour ago, the girl said, instead of 3:30 tomorrow, we'll get you in at 9.
Well, TJ doesn't know what happened to you, Ron, that you were out hunting today and got a branch in the eye.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think I heard. I don't know. Somebody said something about. I think Justin said, just put some butter on it, Ron.
Yeah.
and then David said, go ahead and send that bill to you, David. He'll tell him to piss off.
Yeah, but David, I
tell you what, TJ, you only got half of the story because there's nothing.
Well, no, wait. I meant Justin said to you to go send the bill. Justin will tell them to piss off, is what I meant to say.
Go ahead, Ron.
I say, David, after what you told me, I had no freaking idea. I've had an education tonight.
Well, and the thing of it is to educate everybody that comes on here, because I figure we're all friends, okay?
Right.
Is that what David and Laura are going through, beside his medical issues that can happen at any time, they're going to be put out in the street in 20 days.
Yeah.
Not 20 days, it's 10.
10 days.
Yeah. Well, it's 10 days officially, but we know what's going to happen. On the 20th, the landlord's going to go, are you leaving? Nowhere. He will then apply to the courts, to have it rubber stamped that they're out.
And then they'll send somebody and put them out.
That can take anything up to 6 weeks. It's very rare. It can be done a couple of days. It can be done 3 weeks. Could be done 6 weeks. 6 weeks is the max.
What is your and Laura's plan?
The plan at the moment,
you got to have a plan.
Yeah, we've got a plan. Laura will go and stay with her parents, whether she likes it or not. We've had arguments about this. Yeah, she's taking Sparky with her.
Okay,
We are hoping that one of our friends will take the birds, and I will try and find somewhere to stay until we can find somewhere.
David pretty much is ready to stay on the street if he has to.
David, you're 10 days out. You've got to have a plan.
So are you and Laura still? I mean, you and Laura are still sticking together, though, right? Of course.
No.
Yes,
Oh.
we are sticking together.
They're
but-
sticking together, but if that comes down, she's going to her mother's house and David is out.
Yeah.
Oh.
But in a sense, it's not a bad thing, in a sense, because on the housing situation, suddenly they're classed as breaking us up. And the government frown upon that. So then the council are told, hell, get them back together. Yeah, because they're breaking us
Yeah,
apart.
but what I'm worried about, David, is because of your medical issues. Let's say
Yeah, this
they
is
put
winter.
you
This
out.
is winter time.
And this is winter time, and you're on the street, and all of a sudden you have a seizure. It could repeat itself. You didn't hear it, TJ, probably, but at one point in time, he had a seizure years ago, fell into a pile of garbage, and some lady came up and started giving him the problem about, you drunks need to stay off the street.
Oh God.
But it's just the way it is. It is what it is. We will, I will cross that bridge when it comes to it,
What are
I
you gonna
can't-
do? What are you gonna do with all your stuff? Just like put it in storage somewhere, or
We don't know yet. We don't know.
Storage isn't free either.
Well, it can be. If the council are generous enough, they can offer us storage. Yeah, so they will pay for a storage unit for us to put our stuff in. The electrical stuff, the computers and that, they're going with Laura to her mum's. They will stay in a box. They'll be stored there. It'll be safe. Furniture-wise, we don't know. It'll just maybe have to be binned and start again. I did it in 2003 before I met Laura. Laura was one of the best things that happened to me. She picked me up and dragged me along. I was going to commit. My life in 2003 went, after being stabbed and attacked, my life just went downhill. I'd gone from working 4 jobs, 2 of them full-time jobs, to nothing. I lost them all because I couldn't work. Yeah. Even though I wanted to go in, it was like, you have to go home. You cannot work in that condition. I mean, the night I got stabbed, I still went to work in Asda, filling the shelves. And it was only when I got to the top shelves and I started reaching up and I felt the stitches rip that I was like, oh, crap. Yeah. And then the manager came up and he says, David, what the hell's going on? I'm like, well, I'll let you know. I got stabbed this afternoon. I've got stitches. He went absolutely nuts because apparently health and safety and their insurance won't cover it. Get out the door, sort of thing. So it's, like I say, and then obviously I ended up homeless because couldn't pay the rent. And back then, they didn't have the laws now where they got to go off this procedure. It was a case of, you ain't got the rent, sling your hook. Yeah, it's not like it is now.
Well, you intimated that you were on the verge of suicide.
Yes, that's what happened. What had happened? Obviously, I moved out onto the streets. I was actually going to commit suicide the day I met Laura, but little did I know I'd already contacted Laura a few weeks before, or she contacted me first. We moved to Blackpool more or less same time, and she was looking for friends, and I'd put on my AOL at the time. I was looking for friends. I wasn't looking for female. I just wanted people I could communicate with, go to the pub with, have a laugh, sort of like that sort of thing. Laura sent me a message, hi, ASL, age, sex, location. And my response was, no, fuck off. That was it. And then a few days later, I was like, that was a bit nasty, to do that. So I messaged her back
So
And
did,
put,
did you-
sorry
did-
about the other day. And she said, don't care, back off. So Yeah. I never thought nothing of it. It was only, I'd say about 2 months, 3 months later, I was going to commit suicide and she fell off a wall outside the supermarket. But me being me, went and picked her up, asked her if she's all right, you know.
I remember this, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I did. I think I do remember this story.
What's that, Ron?
What was Laura doing up on a wall above?
She was waiting for her brother. He was only a low wall, you could sit on it.
Low wall.
Okay.
Yeah, but she went backwards, and so I don't know what she managed to do, but she didn't hurt herself. She sort of rolled and landed on the floor. So I picked her up, asked her if she was okay. She looked at me. She's like, "You okay?" I was like, "I'm fine. I'm out of here." You know, just left her, and she just kept yap 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 in my ear. And she talked me out of it, and then we became friends.
Been loving birds ever since.
Yeah.
No, it was probably about 3 years later that we became
Justin.
a couple.
A couple of lovebirds.
Yeah, her family wants to move down here. I was, she didn't want to, so she wants to move in with me. I said, "You can have the sofa." I'm fine, I can sit. You have the
So
sofa.
when Laura first
And,
messaged you,
over time, we just got together.
so when Laura first messaged you, David, did you think like she was like some kind of scammer or something when she's
No, back
your
in
age, sex, and
back in
location?
2003, the internet, dial-up internet, was the big thing.
Right.
And everybody started a conversation. Hi, age, sex, location. Yeah. It used to just really annoy me that you just kept having to answer this shit. And I was like, she just messaged me and I just put, "No, fuck off." That was it. But we didn't know that until after we got talking a few
Red card.
weeks later when, she said about being new to Blackpool. And I said, "Oh, I'm more or less new to Blackpool. I've only lived here a short while." And
Wait,
you
what was the name of the city you were? Black what?
Blackpool.
Blackpool.
Yeah,
Blackpool.
it's what we call the Las Vegas of the North in England. It's got all the casinos and the big tower and all the fancy lights and stuff.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, everybody goes to Blackpool.
It's like Deadpool, but Blackpool.
Blackpool, yeah.
Well, it's the Las Vegas of the UK.
Yeah, I bet you any money Las Vegas is the same as this. You've got your glimmer and you've got the lights and everything, and then you've got the seedy back streets.
Yeah.
So you still tell each other to fuck off, but you're still together.
But we got because we got together later. But yeah,
because they both fell and hurt each other, and then one walked up to the other like, "Hey, are you okay?"
I didn't. No.
He
I
didn't get hurt.
I didn't get hurt. I was gonna end it
He was
all.
going to off himself.
Oh yeah, that's
He
right.
excused. He got her up, dusted her off, and says, "Well, I'm off to kill myself." So
No, I didn't say I'm off to kill myself. I said, "You all right?" She said, "Yeah," and I said, "Right, good. Catch you later." And I walked off.
yeah, but at some point in time, you had to tell her what your plan was because you said she talked you out of it.
Talked me out of it because she kept pecking me. It's like, "I know there's something wrong. What you doing? Why are you doing this?" And
Typical pestering, yeah.
eventually, I gave in. And I said, "Look, I'm going to be honest with you. Life is shit. I'm sick of it. I got treated shit by my family. I wasn't talking to my mum back then. And I was like, I'm just done. I'm out of here." 2001, I think, or it might have been 2000, my stepmom died. Yeah. She was diagnosed one day with food poisoning. It turned out to be liver and kidney failure. Bit like Ron.
Love them doctors over there.
But that day, when that happened, when she died, and I came home and found her on the sofa, yeah, couldn't fault the paramedics. Over here, if somebody dies at home, the paramedics, strangely enough, cannot declare you dead.
Yeah,
They have to call
same
the
here.
Yeah, the doctor come and he declared her dead. But we were upstairs at the time, and he come walking upstairs and he went, "Sorry, she's dead, walked off. And the police officer chased him and said, what did you just say? What did you just do? Yeah. And I was like, I couldn't take it in at first. And I was just snapped. I went, yesterday you told us and my stepmom it was food poisoning. Yeah. How is she dead? Yeah. It turned out it was renal failure, liver and kidney failure, sort of thing. We only found out, and I went through a mental stage because obviously I'd found my stepmom. I had that image, that whole day. And I sat day in, day out in his waiting room. Yeah. Just sat there staring. And I was like, I am waiting for you to make a mistake. I'm going to fucking have you. Yeah. And eventually the police said, if you do not stop doing this, we will arrest you and you will be the one in trouble.
Yep.
And I decided, after 3 years, I'm going to move to Blackpool. Yeah. That was it. I moved to Blackpool. Strangely enough, a couple of weeks later, it came about that he made another mistake on another woman, said she had a sore throat, yeah, and told her to take lozenges. And she actually had cancer, throat cancer. Yeah. But he didn't follow it up. He didn't do everything was a shortcut to him. He's just, the more patients he sees, the more money he was getting. He weren't interested in what your problem was. And that's why, but he got struck off. He was finished. And I took great pride on the day he was struck off at Preston Crown Court. I made my all the way there. And as he come out the door, I just went to him and went, I told you your day will come. You're going to rot in hell. He got jailed eventually.
This was your dad.
No, the doctor.
No,
Oh,
the doctor.
Well, my dad had already left by then. So, yeah.
Well, David, you've been through a lot. You just shows how strong you are, and you and Laura. I just hope and pray that it works its way out. The sad part of it is nobody seems to want to give you you have a council that's in charge of getting housing and all that kind of stuff, and they just keep putting you off. And
The reason being, if the council did their job and actually spoke to us, they're doing everything at the moment in COVID mode. We don't want to see you. We don't want to hear you. We just do it all off the paperwork. Yeah. And how do you describe all this stuff in paper format? You can't. You get small boxes to write your information in. If they actually rung us and listened to all this and knew what I've been through, yeah, it would be a lot different. Yeah, but they're not. They're just literally forcing us, what the paperwork says, the tick box.
Yeah.
You're right, Jaden.
That's some BS, I think.
Well, one thing here in the US, talking about eviction of getting somebody out, it's a lot longer than that. You can be over here for a half a year to a year even before landlords can even get you out.
If you know what the worst bit is, this is stupid. He served us with Section 21, no fault eviction. It's quicker to get us out for doing nothing wrong than it would be if we hadn't paid the rent. Because he has to go a different route.
Yeah.
And it's stupid. Yeah? I don't begrudge the landlord wanting this property back for his son. I get that his son's a twat and, his son's committed a crime and whatever, and he needs the property back. I get that. Yeah, he needs it for his son. But our landlord, even though he's done nothing for us and stuff, he did give us more time than he legally had to. He told us in July he was going to ask us to be out in January. So he gave us 6 months' notice, which should have been well more than enough notice for the council. But the council kept delaying it and finding different reasons, even to the point I put everything in a PDF format that they asked for. All my ID, all the letters, all the bank statements, everything, all in one PDF. No, one PDF, not multiple, one. And they still come back to us and said, we've lost these pages
They're
and this.
paid
this.
for it,
And it's like, how do you know you've lost them pages if they're not there? How do you know we didn't put it in? Yeah. You're saying you've lost. They were deliberately delaying it all the way through till
Same here.
November.
It's the same exact situation as here, David.
Yeah.
No,
And they
no
got-
different.
It got to the point that in December, I actually said to one of the council workers, I said, you do realize that come the January 20th, if we're on the streets and I've lost these birds, I'm out of here. I'm done. I said, I'll throw myself off a bridge. She said, we'll make sure that doesn't happen. We'll make sure you can't get onto a bridge. And I said, I'll hang myself. She said, we'll make sure you won't. And I said, I've bought the rope. She's like, we'll take it off you. She said, we'll have your section. And I went, oh, what? And I can't bash my head off a wall in a padded cell. If somebody's determined to kill themselves, they will do it. Yeah. And I made it clear. Suddenly, ta-da, we're on the list. Yeah. But we're on the list, but they've found a little grey area. Yeah. That it stinks because they're saying you need this, but to get that, you have to be in sheltered housing. And you can't have sheltered housing because you're not deemed suitable for sheltered housing. You're not old enough and whatever. So, well, the other house we're seeing every week, houses coming up, and they're going to people that are in less of a situation than us. Yeah.
You mean in a better situation than you guys are?
Yeah. I don't want to say too much bad. We have one friend. We told them before all this kicks off with us to go to the council and get help. He was living at home with his parents with one child. His missus were living in a mother and baby unit with the other. And I said, go to the council, get that application put in. He did, based on my information, my advice. 6 weeks later, they had a 2-bedroomed house. Yeah. 6 weeks later, they had a 2-bedroom house. They were housed. They were not being made homeless. Yeah. But thanks to my advice and me telling them what to put in the forms and everything, they got it. Me? No. It's
You
like
didn't take your own advice.
I did. But it is somebody in the council has seen my name and either know someone by the same name and they link me to it and gone, nah, not helping them. Or they know me personally because I don't know them because they don't give you your names. Yeah. And they've looked at it and gone, nah, not helping him. And they've done everything they possibly can to make it look like they're doing something, but they're not. Yeah.
You've been blacklisted is what it's called.
Yeah. Eventually, they're either going to have to give in or, something's going to happen. I'm still tempted, like we was talking about earlier, that when I get housed, I don't want to do it now because it could burn a bridge. But when I get housed, I'm tempted to go after the council and say, you know what, guys, you guys nearly killed me. Yeah, causing me all this stress and all this aggro. It ain't making my seizures any better. I had a suspected mild heart attack. You guys have tried to finish me off. Enough is enough. And I'll go after the council for compensation. Shouldn't have to, don't want to, because what will happen if I win, it comes from other people needing help. Comes out of that budget. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what, David? You don't have to. You shouldn't be worried about the budget. That's their problem.
Yeah.
No.
You need to take care of you and Laura.
Yeah, but I don't see it that way. I always look at other people. Yeah. If we were all in a room right now and there's a gunman and he says, I only want to shoot one of you guys. Yeah. I would say me. Yeah. Let the rest of them go. Do me. I'm out of here. Yeah. Because I've lived my life now knowing that one, I'm not wanted by my family. You know, my family treat me like crap anyway. You know, I've had so much happen to me over the years, and you know, trying to get the help and get back into the workplace. You know, I don't want to be on benefits. I don't want to be on this disabled. I want to be out, you know, even just doing the shitty jobs, kitchen porter, filling the shelves. I'd rather be doing that and earning money than sat here doing nothing. But they won't employ me because health and safety says no. Because insurance companies will go, hell no, not insuring you guys. So it's a no-win situation. What do? You know, but I'd rather other people.
Well, that's noble, David, but you still got to look out for yourself.
Like I said, come the end of the month, as long as Laura's okay, as long as we've got somewhere for the birds and whatever, I'll be fine. I will sort something out. Because eventually they will have the council and the government have come up with this thing about 0 street sleeping. Yeah, it's not working. Don't get me wrong. Well, people start, but once you're on the streets, there's more help out there to get you somewhere. Yeah. So if
Well,
I
my
have
only concern, David, is you're not going to be a typical homeless person because of your medical situation. You could be out there homeless and have an incident like that, you know?
yes, but a lot of the people on the streets are, I don't want to sound too bad because not all of them, but there's quite a few of them that will just are on the streets because they're drinking and drugs and they don't pay the rents because they'd rather have a drink and the drugs and whatever. We have that problem. Yeah. They're in a bad situation. They need housing. You know, I just become
Nice, Ron.
part of the system.
Nice. Nice. So sorry to interrupt. I was just thinking because I'm sitting here scratching my feet because I itch because I got damn athlete's foot, and Ron's over here saying TJ has a better chance of catching VD.
Well, JD said, he goes, Ron, he goes, JD asked your wife to give you a foot massage. I told him, I said he has a better chance of catching VD. She's right next door, and she, TJ?
Huh?
Is she listening to all this?
She's talking to her mom on the phone.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are you sure she's not talking to Steve? But anyway, the last on it is for years I put a brave face on things, just got on with it, put a smile on it, you know, tried to get the treatment, argued with the system, and got nowhere, you know, to the point where the doctors are saying I'm deliberately not helping myself when it's like, guys, I'm traveling 40 miles for 1 hour counseling per week. Yeah. It's a long way to bloody go just to listen to somebody going, how are you? How's the weather? What do you think about this? Like I give a shit about the trees and the weather. What I care about is what's going on up here. Yeah. How do I deal with what's happened in my past to move on enough to be able to get back into work and stuff? I don't give a crap about the weather. Yeah. I don't give a crap where I am. As long as I've got a roof over my head, it's all that matters to me. You know, this council with a must be a shower thing, don't care. I'll have a bath. I'll have a wet room. I'll have a bucket in the center of the bloody room. I don't care. Just a roof over my head, somewhere safe for me, Laura, and the birds. Birds are my family. That's how I see it.
Well, I don't know. I guess there's no finite answer for you, David. We're all with you. And
So there's you can't call the people that are going over like your paperwork or whatever, or your situation,
You can't speak to them in person.
or even over the phone. You can't talk to them.
No, they're faceless. It's all done by email. Little forms. They deliberately give you the smallest of spaces, yeah, to stop you putting all the information in that you need to put in. Yeah. Even at the end of the forms, when it says you can use one more piece of paper to put it all in, because there's so many questions and so much information they're asking, there ain't the room. Even if you put it in a size 8 font, it isn't the room to put it. Yeah, they are there. It's there to make it look like they're helping you, but not helping you. You know, we just have to wait and see. Look, when Peabody, the homeless team that was supposed to be helping stop us being homeless, when she said last Thursday, I'm sorry, it's looking hopeless, and now you're in that stage where we can't help you because technically you will be on the streets. She says, and we don't deal with people on the streets. That's a different charity.
Ron, can you imagine that anybody telling them that it's a hopeless situation? There's nothing we can do. You're going to be on the street, so get over it.
Yeah.
That's why last Thursday, when Rob was having that joke, yeah, with me, I snapped. I was like, piss off. I just went for him. I was like, I'm not going to have someone sitting there saying to me, I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah. When I've been through a hell of a and I just snapped at him. I was like, no, but he was joking.
Go ahead, Ron.
Honestly, David, I saw that one live stream. I honestly think Rob was being sincere. He said, hey, David, I have a spare room.
No, I saw that. He has spare room, but like I said, it's an awkward situation. He lives in Wales. Yeah. All the system, because of the
transfer.
Yeah. All the system, even though it's exactly the same, it's all run by the Welsh government over there.
But still, you have a roof over your head. Temporary.
Yes, but it would cause complications, not just for me, but for Rob. Yeah. Suddenly, he has to declare he's got someone living with him. Yeah. I don't know Rob's situation. I don't know if he's getting pips or whatever else. Yeah. But it would push up his council tax. It will push up his bills. It has knock-on effect. Yeah.
Did you guys ever have that conversation?
What, with Rob?
Yeah.
Yes. He's offered many a time. But we've obviously, when Rob said that to us, we obviously went away and spoke to the council about what the situation would be if I was to move to Wales, what the situation would be with the council still helping us and get moved back this way to be near Laura's family and near all the medical stuff is. They said straight away, you would lose all your rights to your benefits. You would lose your rights to your medical treatment. You have to go back to the start on everything. It's a different country. You go back to the start. You have to start from scratch. Yeah. They said there's complications for Rob. He may have to pay tax and stuff. When I lose my benefits, I have nothing to pay Rob for maybe 7 to 10 weeks to, for being there. I wouldn't want to be there without, you're spelling it wrong. It's Wales without an H. Yeah. We'd have to be there without giving him any money towards the electric, to food, for everything. I couldn't do that to Rob. He's disabled himself. Yeah. I don't want to put any stresses on him. Couldn't do it. Yeah. I'd rather.
Are you guys different, David? Like last, a year ago, I was being kicked out of my property. I didn't know where I was going to live. But my friend here locally offered his home to me. He said, "Hey, you can stay here as long as you want." But on the same token, I wasn't getting any kind of benefit. So
No, but that's what I'm saying. It would, you see, like Mark said, you're still entitled to PIP if you're working. Yes. However, it also affects everything else. Suddenly, if Rob's earning a lot of money, they have to say what you're charging him. And if Rob said, I'm not charging him anything, they'll go, are you mad? Yeah. But like I said, it affects me. It stops my money. It stops my ability to pay for what I want to do. I wouldn't want to put myself on anyone. Not, like Laura was joking about JD having a 3-bed house. Yeah. He's got spare rooms. Yeah. I wouldn't even do it to JD. Yeah. Moving over there because I wouldn't have the income to say, there you go, JD. Thanks for letting us have a room. Yeah. I couldn't do it. Why would I do it? It's not fair. This is why I don't begrudge the landlord wanting the property back for his son. Yeah, I get it. His son is going to be on the streets like we are if we don't move. So I get it. We can't, you can't all be take. I have to be, I want to be the giver and let the other people be the taker. Yeah. I'd rather someone come to me and say, I've got your property, but I'm going to charge you £800 a week, £800 a month. I'll go, yeah, okay. It's a roof over my head. Yes, it's more than it's worth. But do it. That's why we never chase the landlord. We got damp up here, mold. Do I chase the landlord and say, get it fixed? Legally, he has to, but I don't. I'll fix it myself. It's not, I'm not that sort of person. I've lived my life where nothing's been given to me. My family didn't think, I never got pocket money as a child. Everyone else did. There was stuff that happened to me that I don't want to go into, but when I left school, the day I left school, my dad said to me, you get a job and you start paying your way. You ain't staying here. I'm thinking, got a job. A couple of weeks later, he fucked off. He left my stepmom. And yet he'd done that. But I still managed to get a job and I was still paying my way, even though I went into higher education. I went into computer programming stuff. So I've always worked my way. When my brother got his first place, my oldest brother, he got everything from my mum. Yeah. They bought him new furniture, everything he needed, kitchen equipment, the whole lot. He got set up. He was made. And he wasted it. Several times he got made homeless out of that. Came back to live with us and then got another place. And they decked him out in stuff. When I needed to get a place of my own because my stepmom had died and everything, I borrowed £50 off my mum until payday. The day I got paid, I finished work at 8 o'clock and I come out of Asda and my mum was stood there. She's like, I want my £50. Yeah, they knew. And then obviously things happened and I lost contact with my mum. I was like, you know what, thanks, mum, and piss off. And it was only after Laura moved in, Laura said, your mum's outside. And I was like, no, you don't know my mum. My mum ain't coming looking for me. She don't care. Yeah. And she said, well, this woman looks like you. And I was like, not listening to you, I thought she was winding me up. And then suddenly I looked out, I'd done it. I still to this day do not know how my mum found me. Yeah, because I've moved several times. I've managed to, get myself sorted and everything. And then I started talking to her. She apologized. We got thing. I built up a relationship with my mum over the last 20 years. Even to the point where when my stepdad needed to go away, I would go to my mum's, even though I've got my own health issues, and help my mum. My mum had strokes. She had problems, I had to change her. I had to do things that a son shouldn't do for his mum. It's the mum does for the son, back in the day. I had to do that. You know,
David, I commend you.
so when she died last year, I was the one that didn't get to grieve. I had that relationship. My mum didn't want to know the others, but I had that relationship because we managed to bond. It was, I tell you what, some of them smells were serious, but instead of, just slight smell, I'm like, yeah. But no, I used it to make a joke. I was like, you know what, Mum? I could be like Kermit the Frog going, but really I was going, yeah. But I made it, he had that, and she knew what I was doing, So I helped arrange all the funeral. I did all the big speech on the day. My family was like, "Oh, how brave David is!" He did this wonderful speech about his mum and everything. They didn't
Go
know the
ahead,
half
Ron.
of it. And today,
Go ahead, Ron.
let me
Hey,
finish.
David, I commend you because you sound like you did better than me. The last time I physically saw my mother, I physically knocked her the fuck out.
Yeah.
And 10 years prior to that, I went and found her and I sat outside her apartment for 3 days with a loaded 357.
Yeah, well, I couldn't do that. I couldn't hurt my mum because
I wanted her and her boyfriend, I wanted to take them both out.
because even though I knew I wasn't wanted, that never came from my mum. That came from my dad. He told me that. Yeah. But I always respected my mum and stuff because, the age of 6, she was the one that punched my dad in the face and said, you're an idiot. Yeah. She got me the help I needed. Yeah. And in a sense, if I wasn't wanted, why would she do that? Yeah. Obviously, she cared and stuff. And I saw what my dad did to her, as a toddler and stuff. We watched him do it. Yeah. It
But
was
look at
horrible.
what you did. But look at what you did, David.
Yeah.
You came back and you took care of your mom
Yeah.
at the time in need, just like came back and she was worried about you. You did
But
the same
today-
for her.
But today, when me and Laura are in this situation, when my family could step up to the plate and say, you know what, David, we know you've been through all the wars and everything. We know what you've been through. Yeah. We will not offer me a place to live, but they will, offer us storage for the stuff, or they could go, we will help you, we'll be the guarantor you need for a private rented place. Yeah. They could do that very easily. Cost them nothing because I wouldn't default on the rent. Yeah. So they wouldn't have to pay anything. Means nothing to them. It's nothing. Just signing a piece of paper. And not one of them have spoken to me since before Christmas. They don't want to know. They're not interested. My sister, on the anniversary of my mum's death on the 2nd of January, she put a post up. It was a picture that me and Laura took of my mum and my stepdad and the dogs from a Christmas what we spent with them. And she put, it's a year ago since I lost my mum, not we lost our mum. Yeah. And obviously we lost the Finch New Year's Day. So on the 2nd, I didn't want to speak to anyone. I was in a bad place. My mum and dad, anniversary of mum's death, and the Finch and everything. It just knocked the stuffing out of me. Especially everything. On the 3rd, I rung my stepdad to see how he was, because obviously he lost my mum as well. And he started off fine. And then he made this one comment that is sticking with me since. He said, when I said about the Finch dying, that we'd just been to the funeral for the Finch, he went to me, he says, it's nothing compared to what I went through last year when I lost my wife. And I wasn't making it out like it was anything, on the same level, but he still had that dig. Yeah. And I was thinking to myself, you know what? It's not. But you know what I've been through. You know what I'm going through now. I lost lots of friends last year. I think it was 15 in the end. My best friend in August, who was there for me all the time. You know, she would talk to me and she would say, David, buck up your ideas, just get on with it. Yeah. Don't let the past bring you back down. And, you know, she was always there. I never listened to her, to be honest. But she died in August. Suddenly, she'd gone home. She'd had a party. She was happy. She went home and she felt ill. She rung an ambulance. Well, she was on the phone to the paramedics who was, you know, trying to calm her down. She died. It never got to her. Well, I think, isn't it? So I've been through all that. So I weren't making it out like I'm, you know, something's bad. I get what he's been through. That's why I was ringing him, you know, to make sure he was okay. Yeah. But the fact is, he was still the one that when my mum had that fall before Christmas 2020, 2022, so 2021, Christmas 2021, just before Christmas, she had that fall, broke her arm in two places at the top here, her only good arm. Instead of calling her an ambulance and getting her help, he made her a bed on the floor. And not only that, the carer, who clearly has crossed professional boundaries, yeah, being there at that time of night, she was only supposed to be there during the day for several hours, but yet she was there at that time of night, and he's still in touch with her. They made her a bed, my mum, a bed on the floor and left her on the floor. And it was the next day when they realized that she'd actually broken her arm in two places and called for help, and then ended up taking her to the hospital. Yeah. If they'd have got her help straight away, she would probably still be here today. She died of sepsis and renal failure because it set in from the broken bones. You know what? And I have to forgive him for that and make sure he's all right because for my mum. And he won't give a shit. He will not care. And he made that dig, and I thought, you know what? I don't care what happens now. You know, he can just go off. Yeah, I'm done with him.
Yep.
Yeah, that dig was below the belt because I've lost my mum. Yeah, yes, he lost a wife. Yeah, remember, I've known my mum a lot longer than he has because he's my stepdad. He wasn't around when I was born. So, yeah, he can off. You know what? He keeps saying he's going to leave me the most in the will. He can shove the will where the sun don't shine. I won't wipe my bum on it. Yeah, don't want anything from him. I'd rather just have a picture of the memories of my mum. That's it. The last 7-8 years where I was there for her when she needed it, you know. I'd rather have that than anything else. So whatever happens next week, it happens. It's done. It's just what it is. I'm not gonna fight it. It's just, it is what it is. You know, council don't want to help. Screw them. You know, it'll cost them.
What really saddens me more than anything is your family is not willing to help you.
No.
That is the sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That
And
is pathetic on their part.
Yeah.
They are pathetic people. The self-absorbedness of that, of not stepping in to help you.
They won't. They're not interested. They're only interested in what it is for themselves.
Yeah.
No doubt. Yeah. My sister, who was never there for my mum, but is suddenly around my stepdad, she's only interested in one thing. She's interested in what she's going to get in the will. You know what? She can have the fucking lot of it. It means money don't mean nothing to me. Roof over my head, Laura being okay, my birds, that is it for me. That's all I need. Oh, and you guys, obviously. Otherwise I won't be here every night. You know what I mean? But this is sad situation. My friends that I trust the most now are all you guys online, not people in my life. Yeah, physically in my life. That's how it is.
That's sad.
Yeah.
It really
Oh,
is.
apart from this guy, this is Matt.
Oh, Matt.
Dude,
Hey, Matt.
Hi, how you going?
Well, we're just talking to David about his
trying to think of ways to help the situation, but everything that we say or think of, we can't-
Nobody has an answer.
Yeah.
No one has a because you guys are not over here. Yeah. If you guys were over here, one of you could step up to the plate and say, we could be the guarantor. Because you know I'm not going to default on the rent. Yeah. The reason Rob can't do it is because he's disabled. And the landlord will go, no, he's disabled. I'm not having him as a guarantor. They want someone that's working and, you know, physically able and someone they wouldn't look bad on for chasing the rent if I defaulted. That's what they want. They want to look bad.
Go ahead, Ron.
I gotta pop out. David, hang in there, buddy. We'll talk to you.
Yep. Okay, Ron, thanks for being here. Matt,
Ron, we'll see
how
ya.
you doing? You're on the road, Matt.
Good luck with your eye tomorrow, Ron.
Hey, Matt, is somebody else driving? Because you're on the wrong side of the seat there.
Yeah, this is my Fisher. This is my Fisher Price steering wheel. I bought the other day.
Oh,
Works
okay,
really
all right.
good.
Beep, 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 beep.
Fisher
Yeah,
Price.
listen. Did you hear that?
Yeah, we heard it.
That's at no extra cost.
Yeah.
You could have got one of them that you beats and it goes na 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 na.
Yeah, custom horn on there. That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah. You know when you put the indicators on, does it go? The wheels on the bus go round and round.
I was actually saying that. I was actually singing that today, but I turned bus into car because the wheels on your car go round and round.
Just give me a sec. God damn it.
Well, David, I wish and pray for you too, and I pray everything turns around for you. I truly do.
It's got to give eventually.
Be in my prayers, and hopefully that the council can pull their heads out of their arrears. And I won't use the other word.
You know what the worst bit is? I actually really, really, really want to go down to the council and kick off. Yeah, like most people will. But to me, it's like, if I do that, how are they going to feel? Am I going after if I confront the wrong person, that person's going to go home and feel bad. Yeah. And they've done nothing wrong. Like we've done nothing wrong. I don't want to do that. But really, I really want to do that. I really want to go in there and say, you know what? Enough is enough. I want to take a baseball bat and smash the computers up. But I know that if I did that, it's the other people of the town that will pay for that. You know, the council taxes go up and stuff. It's just so frustrating when you want to do something, but you know you can't.
Yeah, but it doesn't hurt to dream, you know. I mean,
Now,
it doesn't hurt.
I'm going to be honest, I've sat there and thought about it. You know, what happens if I go into the town hall and just, you know, grab up the computer and just launch it across the room?
I'll let you borrow my potato gun. I'll send my potato gun to you, and you can like launch a potato right at them.
No, what you want is paintball guns so you can mark them so you'll know where they are after they're off the street.
Oh yeah.
You know, the thing is, if we had the gun laws you guys had, I can guarantee you now we won't be in this situation because they wouldn't want to piss us off.
That's sad.
It is. Well, David, as I say, my prayers are for you. I'll be praying for you and Laura, and hopefully things can turn around for you.
Yeah.
Well, it either does or it doesn't. It's, you know, we are now getting to the crossroad where we go left, we go right. There's only two directions you can go. Yeah, left, I say, is the way where the council go, we've got you somewhere, or the private landlord, and we end up, Matt dropped out, but we end up in somewhere where we can, you know, get our life back together, or we go right and we go off a cliff. You know, and how deep that cliff is, no one knows.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm still going to be here all the way up to maybe Well, until we get told we're being thrown out, I'll still be here every night if I can.
Okay.
You know,
Well, chin up, and we're all
Yeah,
praying for
man.
you. Well.
Keep your,
never know.
keep your head,
One
keep your
night.
head up, man. Keep your head up.
one night I could give you a tour of my new place.
There you go. That's what we're looking for.
Yeah, this is my sofa. It looks like a park bench. That's my
And I don't have my regular birds, but here's the pigeons.
Here's the pigeon.
so. You got to laugh. You don't laugh.
Life,
don't-
life
Right.
is too short and you got to laugh because the laughter is good for the heart and good for
That's
the
right.
soul.
That's right. Just think of me, David. Just
Think
think
of
of me.
TJ. There you go.
That's why me and Laura are doing this trucking stuff. Yeah, that's why we're doing it, because it takes our mind. It's taking our mind off it. You know what?
when you're doing the trucking game.
I just say to her, I'll pick a job the furthest away. We'll race to that destination and race back. And you know what? I know if Laura gets in front of me, it's hell on that road. It's carnage. Yeah. So I want to stay in front, and I'm like, and we'll just battle each other and have a laugh and stuff. You know what? And if it gives somebody else on the internet a laugh, great.
Yeah.
You know, I had 20 people watching at one point tonight, which is one of my best results.
Well, gentlemen, I got to back out. I've got to get
Yeah,
ready
I
for a
think
meeting.
we're probably going to call it. We've been on here for almost 4 hours. 4 hours.
4 hours.
Wow.
I,
You
I think
guys
I'm
are
gonna
true diehards.
I'm gonna go and buy me some brine for my feet.
There you go. David, chin up, buddy. I know it's
Yeah,
late over there,
yeah.
but
Look on the bright side, man. Keep looking on the bright side.
yeah.
TJ, do you want to know what the brighter side is at the moment? Up
I mean,
my
just-
rear end.
Yeah, you know, it's easy. She's in the other room. That's the bright
She's
side.
in the other room.
There you go. The wifey.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody. Thanks for being here. We'll see
All
all
right.
of you again tomorrow.
Thank
Y'all
you.
tomorrow, and-
Have